Hey everybody, it's Chad. Nobody else is on. 7 o'clock Sunday evening time for a little Sunday night live chat. Got a great group with us on already on YouTube. Let's see if Facebook's going to connect here. And looks like we're going over there as well. Anthony's here. Jeff from Canada. Norma's on. Pete. Bill Wagaman's here. Balmy 37. It was about 60 here today, so I took that. Jim's on with us. Alex is here. Jason's on. Frank. Looks like we got a few people jumping on Facebook as well. As always, we are live on two formats, both YouTube and Facebook tonight, like we usually do. So as you see me looking back and forth, checking comments, that's what I'm doing. Randy's on with us. So looks like everything is boogieing. Glad you guys all came back. It still amazes me that you do, but you do. We've got an awesome group on here. Mark's on with us. And you guys are what makes this thing what it really is. John's here with us as well. YouTube's filling up nicely. Great to see that. Throw a share out there. Let your friends know that we are on. Send them a text, shoot them a note, tell them to jump on with us. Bill Disks here from Pennsylvania. Ryan and Amy are on. So, anyway, lots of things happening, as always. But obviously, Kissimmee's going on. That's a big thing to talk about. I picked up a few cars this week. We got some badges, the emblems to look at. We've got a great auction plan for tonight. We got a promo model. We got a cool magazine. Mark got his surprise box. He said it was great. Glad you liked that. Stan's here with us. Norman says hit the like button. Appreciate that. Rusty's on. Big Job's here. Dad's here with us. So glad you liked your surprise box, Mark. Most of those should be about out there. I've got one more that I'm waiting on an address on, but I'm sure I'll have it here pretty quick. I'm sure it's going to be going first of the week, and that should be all of the surprise boxes from the Christmas episode. So glad Mark liked his. I hope everybody else that got one, whether you won one in the auction or whether you won one in the drawing, hope you guys all enjoyed them and thought they were cool. So Mike from New Waverly, Texas is here. Obviously, you can see we got Randy's signs up behind me. Clark's on with us from down under. Always nice to see some of our friends from down under hanging out with us. X-Ray Dean's here. Kennan's on. But we got the raffle stuff up. Those two are going to the raffle winner, and that one's mine. I got another one I'm going to hang up, but I got that one up. So Mark didn't get the $20 bill, but there was items in there that was better than that. So glad you enjoyed it. I tried to get a cool mix in those boxes, and always nice to hear that you guys were happy and excited about what you found in them, because all you bought was a brown box. You didn't have any idea what was in it. So, or one. Some of you want them, but it was a ton of fun, and we'll do it again sometime. It was a lot of fun, and everybody seems to enjoy it. So curious to see some more feedback as some of you other guys get your boxes, because there was a few of them that went out last week, and then most of the rest of them went out just this past week. So, Kevin's digging the signs. Yep. Alex on with on Facebook. But real quick, obviously, let's get through housekeeping real quick. Autocorrect, double check your comments before you hit send. If autocorrect changes something, I can't make it out, I don't know what to tell you. I have to skip it and keep moving. If you're on the Nobody Show page on Facebook, I cannot see those comments. If you want to comment, participate in the auctions, you'll need to be on the Nobody Else's Auto page on Facebook, because this is a shared video from that page, or the Nobody Show YouTube channel. Those are the only two sets of comments that I can see. If you're on the Nobody Show Facebook page, cannot see those comments. So Jason got all his stuff good. Jason got a good box. Loved all of it. Awesome. Glad you liked your stuff. Stan says we should do mystery boxes on a monthly thing. Well, that might be a good idea, Stan. That's something to consider. Make some notes here. Let's see. Billy Bowman's on with us. Pure Pontiac made it tonight. Alec liked his boxes too. He said his boxes were awesome. That's great. Like I said, I tried to get a cool mix in them and make it worth your guys' while, especially you guys that actually bought them in the auction. I don't want you to think you didn't get anything cool for what you paid for them. So Lee from New York's here with us. And of course, we drew for a couple of them out of the raffle. So glad the feedback's been really good on that. Tweedly D's here with us, and that you guys enjoyed them. So Trolls, obviously, you guys do a good job with trolls. I ignore them. They want my attention. I ignore them. You guys make sure they know they're not welcome. So when you see a troll pop up, I will ignore it. Keep right on rolling with the show. You guys are awesome about reporting them and blocking them and running them off. So thanks. I appreciate that. And something else before we get too deep into the open chat here, there's something I wanted to bring up. And the reason I thought of this is because it is the end of the year. Stan from Bristol, New York. Stan's from Bristol, New York. Sam's on with us, Yukon, Oklahoma. Scott's here. Like I always remind you guys, when you send in payment, whether it's PayPal, friends and family, whether it's check in the mail, whether it's money order, whatever it is, I always ask you to make sure you at least tell me what it's for. If it's all auction winnings, that's fine. I can reference it off my auction sheet and find it. But if you want a t-shirt, if part of it is raffle, I need to know all that so I make sure your funds get split up, whether you want $5 in the raffle and a t-shirt and your auction winnings, or, just auction and all the rest is raffle. I need to know all that. Mike from New Jersey's on Facebook with us. So Joe's here. And then, like I said, the addresses are a huge, huge deal. Please make sure your address is on there. When I was started cleaning out files for the end of the year, this is what reminded me of that. So I'm going to show you guys a couple things just so you have an idea of why I need all that information from you. First off, we've been doing raffles for about 18 months. We started them last, March, April, somewhere around there, 18, 19 months. This is the stack of raffle paperwork from 18 months. So yeah, a lot of your guys' names and addresses are in there, but finding them just takes a ton of time. So that Charles is on with us. That's just the raffle paperwork. Alec missed the raffle announcement last week, but he went back and caught it. And so he knows where we're up to speed on that. So that's just the raffle paperwork. Now, on other stuff, on FedEx, this is the last 24 months of FedEx that just came out of the file. So that stack's about 12 inches deep. That's just FedEx receipts from the bigger stuff that was shipped FedEx over the last 24 months. Now, on USPS, and a lot of your guys' stuff goes USPS. On the small stuff, I don't keep the sheets I keep the sheets, the PayPal receipts and the envelopes for about 60 days. FedEx, I'm on open account, so I ship it and then they bill me. So I have to keep all those records so I can reconcile the bills and pay my bill. USPS, once it's shipped, I pay for it when I drop it off, so it's already prepaid. So I don't have to worry about reconciling that out later. So from last April till now, so basically the last 8 months, I have the counter receipts from USPS, which are basically the thickness of a credit card receipt. And that's just the last 8 months of USPS receipts, counter receipts. Not counting, that, like I said, I keep the paperwork for about 60 days, but USPS, it's paid when I drop it. FedEx being open account where I've got to reconcile the statements, I have to keep that stuff a lot longer. But those receipts are the thickness of, those are regular like credit card receipts. Their counter receipts are. So I write them a check, it spits out, and that's the last 8 months worth of just USPS. Let's see, what do we got? Brian likes the sign. John enjoyed the Christmas yard walk. Good, glad that. Actually, those were all filed. I just pulled that out of the file cabinet. That whole stack of FedEx was in the file cabinet. That's what I'm cleaning out since it's the end of the year. So I just pulled that stack out of the filing cabinet just this morning. Need a directory like the old days telephone book. Yeah. Bill this said he can be the secretary, paying with car parts. Yeah. So as I started working on some of that stuff and cleaning it out, I was like, this is a great way to show you guys what I'm really up against. So when I ask you, to help me out with that, that's why. A lot of you guys, oh, you've got my address. Yeah, I'm sure I do. And someday when I get 2 or 3 hours, I can go through that stuff and try to find it. So, but that's what I'm up against on paperwork. It's a lot of volume. It's a lot of stuff going out of here because it's not just what we do here on Sunday night. It's eBay, it's phone calls, it's all this other stuff from the Craigslist ads, from the YouTube videos, from eBay, from the Facebook ads, all that stuff. My phone rings constantly. So, plus I've got a lot of shops that call me on a regular basis. So all that stuff, it's coming from multiple different angles. So there again, if you guys can please help me out with that. And like I said, if you at least list auction winnings, I've always got my log of the auctions. But if you want $10 in the raffle and it doesn't say that, then your auction total doesn't jive with my totals, and then I'm sitting here trying to figure out why this ain't adding up. So you guys do a pretty good job of that. I had one address issue. I think Eric missed the house number or something last week. I've got to look his up again. But if you guys, the more you guys can help me out on that, the quicker this stuff gets out to you. So that's just an example of the amount of paperwork I'm dealing with, just trying to get stuff shipped. So let's see, big job. Maybe Heather would be the secretary. Yeah, that'd work out all right. So let's see, Chris Ortiz. I was trying to figure out who you look like. Then it clicked. You look like a younger James Gandolfini. He played Tony Soprano. Huh. Well, appreciate that, Chris. I don't even know who that is. I get Ryan Reynolds a lot. Typically, I get Ryan Reynolds is what most people is who most people say I look just like. So Ryan Reynolds is what I definitely usually get. James Gandolfini. I don't know. I'll have to look that one up and see what I try to compare that one, because that one I'm not sure. I haven't gotten that one before. Tweeted the email to check on Friday. Perfect. Sounds great. I've still got your box yet. So, because I had cut your address out of the last time, so I didn't have your address. I shipped it to you on your last package. So, Chris says, yeah, I do look like him too. So, let's see. I know we missed one from Randy. Number one made it tonight. Let's get back to Randy. Randy had a big comment we needed to get into. Just finished the inventory of his Autorama auction. 175 plaques, 144 Showstopper magazines, 288 hot rods, Carcraft, and Popular Hot Rodding, and 24 124 scale trucks with show logos. So lots of cool stuff from the big Autorama, the old Autorama car shows they used to carry that Randy just added to his collection. So, and anyway, and Randy, on yours, I have not got your box shipped yet. In fact, while you're on, let's think about this real quick. I've got your box about ready to ship. I'm going to ship it tomorrow or Tuesday and get you a check in there for these. Maybe you can do something little small thing for us, and I'll add it to the check. You tell me what I owe you. And let's do like maybe a small thing here. So we have like 1, 2, and 3, maybe, if that's cool with you, Randy. Just let me know if that works for you. Oh, and he got an Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. Well, that's never a bad thing, actually. So think about that, Randy. If you got time to do something small for like the third one, and then just let me know, and I'll add it to that check that I'm getting ready to send you. So, Norma, I feel silly. Forgot all about the $20 bill going to be in the book. Norma forgot that we put a 20 in 2 of the magazines, and she got one of them. So she just went and looked. She forgot all about it, went and looked in her magazine, and she got one. So Norma got one of the 20s. So we don't know who else got one. We'll wait and see if anybody else fesses up, or maybe they haven't gotten it yet. But we know Norma got one of the $20 bills that we threw in as an added bonus in 2 of the boxes from the last time. So congratulations. Alec did not get one. So Alec did not get one. Norma did get one. So let's see. Outcast Projects made it tonight. Let's see. Guy the Car Guy is here with us. So, all right. Awesome. Hey, everybody see Randy's comment? Randy said he will do he can do a little small thing for the third place. So I'll get square with you. You just let me know what I need to do, and I'll add to the check. But something kind of cool. So appreciate that, Randy. Let's see. Anyway, let's keep rolling here. Keep moving along. Lots of exciting things happening. So Obviously, if you guys, oh yeah, who got the comic book? Because I did throw one of the little 30s comic books in there too. So anybody get the little comic book from the late 30s, the little tiny 3 or 4 inch square ones? So not Mark. So I don't know if Alec or see, Alec got his, Jason got his, and I've still got Tweedledee here since I was waiting for his check. So I had an address. Because I know a lot of you guys notice when I cut when you pay me, I cut your address out so I don't transpose something wrong. So I do cut your address out a lot. So sometimes that's another reason I don't always have it. Norma did not get it. Alec did not get it. That's why a lot of times when we get to the raffle point, I may not have your address because I've shipped it to you. Also, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have noticed this, I do try to double up your shipments whenever possible. So just to save on shipping. So I know a lot of you guys sometimes takes an extra day or two because I get things combined and get as much stuff in each shipment as possible. So Scott's been watching the Pioneer Village posts. Looks like a great place. It's an awesome place, and we've got a lot more to come. I've only posted a couple of them. I've got probably another half dozen Pioneer Village videos in the can. Plus, I've got an entire playlist from every time that I've been there. So when you get on YouTube and check out the Pioneer Village playlist, there's all kinds of cool stuff from Pioneer Village on there. So you want to check all that stuff out. But speaking of videos, I'm sure a lot of you guys noticed the other night, we started on the 39 Cadillac. We've got it out. The engine's sitting there beside it. We found most pieces. There was a piece of clutch linkage we couldn't find, but Dad thinks he found that, so he's got it ordered. So hopefully that shows up this week. Dennis is here with us. Have you been on with us, Dennis? I don't remember if I seen you comment earlier. Things get scrolling here pretty quick sometimes. So hopefully we get that piece of clutch linkage and we can get that motor tranny bolted together and get it sat down in the frame. So we'll be bringing you some more, hopefully some more content on that soon. Pete's digging the caddy. Yep. Ankle's still bugging him. So hopefully we're going to go get that looked at this week. Kevin's is going to be a cool caddy. Yeah, it is. It's a super cool Cadillac. So if you didn't see the videos on that 39, you'll want to go check those out again. Everybody's digging the caddy. Lots of comments popping up on the Cadillac because it's pretty epic. It really is, to say the least. Hopefully we can get the engine sat down in that thing. Reno's on with us here soon, and hopefully see if we can get her fired up. Eloy's here. But what else has been going on? Old Cars Weekly on their Facebook page as well as their website. They have started doing some. Actually, I didn't realize this is what they were going to do. But they wanted some of my stuff as I find it, in the trees, in the weeds, things like that. So Old Cars Weekly has actually started a new segment. And if you go to their website right now or their Facebook page, you can find it. They've got a new segment entitled As Found by Chad, which I really didn't expect them to brand it that way, but that's how they decided to do it. So they ran a couple of them this week. They ran the 67 International Travel All I got last year, as well as the Snow Fighter. They've run those two so far. We'll see if it takes off. We'll see if they like it and if I keep feeding them more. But be sure to go to the Old Cars Weekly website or their Facebook page and check out the As Found by Chad section. So we'll see how things go. Oh, that's right. You guys are getting thirsty. I apologize. We kind of been rolling here and kind of forgot about this stuff. But Eric's here with us. Old Cars Week, like I said, I think it's a great publication, and not only because I work with them on quite a bit of stuff, but just for example, the new issue I got this week, this thing has, and like I keep telling you guys, it's so great because it's so diverse. It's not what color is the 69 Camaro going to be this month. This month or this week's issue has a Omni GLH on the cover, as well as a Stanley Steamer. And there's a 62 Grand Prix thrown in there for good measure. So that's how diverse it is. Stanley Steamer to an Omni GLHS is the amount of diversity they have in Old Cars Weekly. So it's great if you like cars in general. This is about as good as it gets. Let's see what else we got coming up here. Let me get back on comments before we get too far away. Dan from BS Rodston Road. BS Rods and Roadsters in Ohio. Welcome, Dan from BS Rods and Roadsters in Ohio. His first time here. Glad you made it. Throwing Sparks, any plans on saving the Snow Fighter? I don't have time to do it. It's a super cool truck, but I don't have time to do it. I'm going to sell it or part it out. There's just no way I'd have time to do anything with it. So, but that's so it's sitting there. Haven't touched it actually, to be honest with you. Maybe your new article will find some people that lost the car you find, and that's always a possibility too. You never know. Guy on the Car Guys is a fan of the GLH. I think the GLHs are neat little cars. I think they're super cool. Omni was, I think the Omni was K-Car platform as well, if I remember correctly. But they were pretty small. But there again, in the mid '80s, there wasn't much. I mean, the Camaro and Firebird and Corvette were okay. When they went to TPI. The Grand National was still faster with a V6, but the little GLHs were, and the little Shelby, other little Shelby coupes they made some pretty decent stuff considering the times we were in. So if you check out this, plus also they also did an interview with me in this issue. They did some interviews in this issue. One with the president of the American Truck Historical Society, which I think is great. They did an interview with Josh Laurent of Country Classic Cars, a big collector car dealership, as well as a little tidbit with me. So is Old Cars website playing your videos or printing them? They have links. They do a little short write-up, and they have pictures and links to the videos and stuff. So Joe's Classics. I do still have the 65 Newport. It is sitting here waiting on a new home. I am amazed that car has not sold yet. I've had a ton of calls on it, and but nobody showed up with a check, so it is still available. So, but they did have a little quick tidbit with me in this issue as well on how I think things are going. So, Bill used to own a GLH. Great, I think they're super neat little cars. I really do. All right. Bill says hit the like and subscribe button. Appreciate that. Eric says those Dodges were easy to soup up. Yeah, and I actually talked a little bit about that in the article. Said you could actually get a direct connection computer for them to hop them up a little bit from Chrysler. So Joe likes the Newport, but what you call broke. Yeah, that's kind of the way things go. 14 questions, because I think we all know that feeling when we're playing with old cars is the broke feeling. 14 questions out of Kansas Baker's dozen. No, actually, I don't remember how many we started with, but I drug a little of them out and they had to trim it a little bit. So I think there was actually a couple more. I think it was supposed to be 15 questions, but I drug it out a little long and they had to kind of chop some of it off. So that's in. But anyway, real quick, let's get to Kissimmee a little bit before we get and then keep on moving. Obviously, Kissimmee started last Thursday. Kevin got his 98 Chevy extended cab out today. And that's what's cool. When you get some of that stuff out and drive it a little bit, it does remind us of how much we really do enjoy some of these old cars. Jeff's a fan of the GLH Omni. He used to have a regular one for his first new car. But Kissimmee started, I think, last Thursday. My good friend Jim Wicks is there. I talked to him a little bit Thursday night just for a few minutes. But he's obviously busy. I talked to him for 5 or 10 minutes, and he had more calls coming in. Obviously, he is there working when people start calling, wanting to look at cars. That's what he's there for. So if there's something you're interested in Kissimmee this week and you can't get there, get a hold of me, and I will get you in touch with Jim. He is pretty reasonable on what he does to handle things for people. And I didn't know this, but he said some of those guys that do what he does actually charge up to 10%. 10% plus the auction 10% is 20% over a vehicle, over hammer price. He is much, much more affordable than that. He's a fraction of that. And of course, it's somewhat of a sliding scale because a $500,000 car is different than buying a $30,000 car. But, he's a very, very fair for what he does as far as checking a car, sending you pictures, handling the bidding process, handling everything with the auction company, setting up transportation. So if there's something at Mecum that you are interested in and can't get to this week, let me know and I'll get you in touch with Jim. Hello, you come to say hi? All right, you can say hi, then you go sit down. Yes, say hi to everybody. You say hi to everybody? Yes. Meow. Meow. All right, go sit over here. But number one, the Omni was supposed to build a hot hatch wars like Europe. Oh, with the Rabbit, GM didn't play, Ford couldn't decide. So yeah, I could have saw that happening, kind of starting a little sporty little compact war with that. Let's see. Everybody's excited that you made your presence known. But anyway, and they're already rolling into some big cars. They sold some 7-figure cars yesterday, and just like we had just had a comment here, just a second. Bill made a comment about the Jet. They sold Elvis's Jet today. Hammer to what 260 out the door, 286,000 on the Elvis Jet. So it's going to be a project for somebody. I doubt that plane ever returns to flying status, but it would make a great display piece for sure on as far as somebody who just wanted something. If you were at a museum, the jets they've got at Graceland, those you've got to buy a separate ticket to go into the jets. So if it was a big high traffic area, amusement park, museum, something like that had a lot of people going through, it would make an amazing attraction like that. The Jet was looted on the inside. Well, some of the controls and stuff were, but the cabin area, the velvet chairs and all that stuff was all pretty much intact. So which is what people are going to want to see anyway. I could see it restored, repainted with some worn out engines on it. But returning to flying status, I'm sure will never happen, but it would make a great display piece for a park or a museum or something. So, but like I said, I was surprised at the amount of high dollar cars they were already running on the first Saturday. That's right, Randy. I could have gotten ahead of paraplanes. Eric says the only problem with Omnis were the head gaskets. But like I said, I was surprised. Gray Kitty, what are you doing? Hey, you mind? You're laying on the mouse. Come on, there. I was surprised to see the amount of high dollar cars that they already started running on the first weekend. And maybe things filled up that quick to where they did push some of them back. But, a small block Cobra, 65, 289 Cobra, 907.5. How many Falcons do I have? I don't know. I've got quite a few Falcons, depending on how many Mark Falcon would like to have. So, 59 BMW at 1.7 million, 67 Ferrari at 2.9 million, 67 Ferrari 330 at 400,000, 67 Ferrari 330 Spider at 1.6 million. So, there was a 61 Mercedes 300 SL at $1 million. Typically those are the final weekend big cars. They cranked a lot of high dollar cars through yesterday already. So pocket change for Eric. Sweet. If Eric can go pick some up for all of us. But, Mecum Kissimmee is always a strong, strong auction. It's always a big deal that it brings the crowd. 4,000 cars is going to bring a lot of people out. And it's, people want to get out and do something, go to Florida for the winter, and it's always a strong sale. I haven't seen a lot of stupid stuff like we've been seeing the last few years, but Kissimmee is always going to be strong no matter how you slice it. So, how close am I getting the plane moved? As soon as my buddy gets up here with his big rollback. Just depends on when his schedule fits as far as getting the plane moved. So waiting for him to get up here with his big rollback so that we can get that thing hopefully on the bed of the truck and sneak it out there. John, I'd rather have a yard full of clunkers than $1 million car. Anthony Mika's been his background for 4 days, so Anthony must be there. Hope you're having a good time. Alec Mika had pics of the Facebook of the plane today. Don't say it's sold. It is marked sold now, Alex. So, do you mind? No, I know you don't mind. You don't care. But obviously, it's going to be fun to watch this week. We'll keep tabs on things and keep an eye on it throughout the week. We'll have a lot more to talk about. I did text Jim last night, but I did not hear back from him because, like I said, he's working. He's there to work. I understand that. But maybe I'll hear back from him a little bit, hopefully this week, and maybe have some more updates for you guys next week on things. But it's always fun to watch and see what this does, and catch a little bit of it on TV, look at the results, and see what's happening in the big boy world at Kissimmee. So lots of cool stuff there. Yes? Do you mind? Apparently not. Anyway, let's that pretty much catches up for open chat. Let's get to the promo. Let's get to some emblems. Let's get to some auctions. Let's have some fun. Number one, I'm back on the Omni. Imagine a factory 2.8 V6 in a Chevette. Yeah, there would have been a lot of possibilities back then for sure. My buddy, he built a Chevette for one of his customers with a 4-cylinder Cadillac in it, turbo 4-cylinder Cadillac a couple years ago. That was a pretty cool car. Two-tone green 78 Chevette with a 4-cylinder turbo Cadillac in it. Auburn badge. Anyway, let's get to the promos. Tony's here with us. Kind of crazy to think about, but that cars from the early 90s are now 30 years old. And in some states are already antiques. Kansas being 35 years, they are on the verge of becoming an antique. So, Mark, if there's 67 vet small block on proxy, totally in pieces for 33 G's. Sounds like enough. But tonight's promo, we are going to move up into the early 90s to a car that, as weird as it sounds, is now 30 years old, to 1993. And I know a lot of you guys understand this and you know this about me, but I am a slight fan of F-bodies. So tonight we're going to look at the 1993 Trans Am promo in bright red. Adam says in New York it is 25 years. I knew some of them were 25 years, so the early 90s stuff, the mid-90s stuff is antiques. The late 90s stuff is antiques in New York. This 1993 Pontiac Trans Am promo in bright red. This is one I've had for years, probably since it was new. So it was never played with. It was never damaged. Still in good condition. Yep, 90s cars are 30 years old. That's right. Kenny's digging it. Obviously, these fourth gens, as you well know, I'm a pretty big fan of them. Just buying my 02 WS6 for convertible for race week. And Pete has this one in yellow. New addiction because of the show. Fair, pretty highly detailed with the taillights and everything on the back of it. From the top, all red, with the exception of the glass T-tops being black as intended. This car had a gray interior. It did have a full interior in this one. Bottom of this had the typical promo bottom side where everything was just cast into one piece. Not a ton of detail, but just enough to show you where everything was at. They've done this still. I don't think they make new promos anymore. I don't know when they quit making them. Maybe Bill could elaborate on that a little bit. F-body question, did the spoiler on the Firebird cover the whole trunk, or was it a separate trunk to the spoilerless models? Well, it's a whole hatch. This actually, when you open this, everything from here back around here all opens in one piece. The convertibles had more of a separate trunk. This was a whole hatch on these 4th gen F-bodies. So, obviously, you guys know I'm a fan of these. I've got the 94 25th anniversaries. I've got my 02 WS6. I've got the 97 30th anniversary Z. So, I've got some 4th gen cars. So, obviously, any Firebird stuff I'm always a fan of. Eric's a fan of the WS6. So, obviously, I am too. So, it's kind of weird, though, looking at promos from the 90s and realizing they are, if they're not antiques in all states, and they're getting in some states they already are, and in the other states they're getting pretty close. So tonight I thought we'd take a minute and check out the 1993 Pontiac Trans Am promo in bright red. This was actually, they made a prototype called the Banshee in the late 80s. Had a very similar nose to that prototype car that Pontiac called the Banshee, the show car they made. That there you saw a lot of design cues from that car in the 4th gen Pontiac F-body, the nose being one of them. The spoiler delete models made it look like an entire panel. I don't think I've got anything that doesn't have a spoiler on it in fourth gens. Arkansas does 70 and older as an antique. But yeah, this one is nice. Like I said, I've probably had it since it was new, honestly, or pretty much new. So it was never played with. It was never abused. It spent pretty much its whole life on my shelf. Number one had the Banshee model kit. I remember that. They did make a model kit of that Banshee Pro show car too. So there she is, the 1993 Trans Am promo in bright red. And I know you guys want to see some badges and emblems, especially these badges and emblems. We got some more cool stuff to check out as well. As always, we're going to start off with our pre-war. Yeah, the rear spoiler was a separate piece. It would come off, but I mean, it was not made into it. No, actually, I took an allergy pill earlier today. It's still been bothering me, though. I think it's your fault. Yes, it's your fault. Your fault. Yes, your fault. Lori's on this. He's got it. That's what that's. I've got a red 95 Camaro, so very, very similar. Let's see, Alec, my brother has a red one, red one with a white convertible and white convertible top and white interior. Yeah, those are pretty sharp cars as well. But on to badges and emblems. As always, we'll start with pre-war, then we'll move to post-war. The first one we're going to look at, besides the Hudson badge, actually was primarily pre-war, but was used for a few years in post-war America. After the war, the first few years, they did still use this badge, but it was primarily a 30s, early 40s badge. So we're going to classify it as a pre-war piece. The badge we're going to look at tonight for the early one is a super cool piece. It is amazing. I love these. It is the side hood badge for the Diamond T trucks. These were a brass piece, I believe. This one has got some fairly heavy tarnishing to it. I polished it a little bit. You might be able to bring some more of it out, but it has a super cool look to it. This was mounted on the side hood badge of late 30s, early 40s, and even a couple years after the war on Diamond T's. Bill Wagman, 2020 was about the last of them. Corvettes were the end. Nothing coming in the future. Too much cost involved for promo models. So thanks, Bill. I knew you would know 2020 was about the end of it, and they were Corvettes. So everybody's digging this. This is a great piece. This thing actually, these were screwed on, and the original screws are actually still in this, all 6 of them. I got this thing off the hood and saved all 6 screws. It's a flat mount piece. This one's tweaked a little bit on the end, but it is a flat piece. The back of it, we can see these were literally just bolts with screws on them. Now, these are actually real screws. That's how it was mounted, believe it or not. I couldn't believe I got them all off. Tommy Leggy, yeah. Screws must quintuple the price, yeah. These are 12 inches. So it's 12 inches long, and it's 2 inches high. So it's a cool piece. These are a statement piece. Like I said, you polish them up a bit, and Diamond T's are just cool anyway. I mean, the roof lines almost looked like they had a chopped look to them, so they were a neat piece. So, like I said, it did extend to post-war, but well, that gets primarily a pre-war badge. We're going to roll with it on pre-war for tonight on the 30s, 40s era Diamond T side hood badge. Now, we need to go post-war. Alec likes the letter style. Yeah, that's true. It is a great font. It is an awesome font. Like I said, this thing is tarnished. I don't know if you could polish more of this back out and get some more of the gold look to it. But I thought it was cool to check out, so I thought we'd share it. Does it come with the cab? None of the cabs that I've got really are even fixable, Eric. I've got 4 of them, and they're all bad. But there again, any of that Diamond T stuff is tough, so I went ahead and bought them. But there was a lot of knick-knack stuff on them, but there was not a lot left of them. Has a vampire look to it. Yeah, it kind of does, actually. I don't know if it's all brass or not. It kind of looks like it when you look at the back, but I'm not going to say it is because I don't know for sure. But I do know it's cool. I do know it's very cool. Never say never, says Kenny. So let's go to a post-war badge. Set that on Gray Kitty since she won't move. Meow. Move. Take a magnet. I don't have a magnet laying here. It's a good idea, but I don't have a magnet laying here right now. So, but post-war, believe it or not, we've looked at some really super, super cool Studebaker stuff over the last couple of months, and we're not done yet. We're getting close, but we're not done yet. We got one more piece now, and I've got one more piece for sure that I know we haven't looked at because it's probably, I think it's one of the most epic pieces out of the Studebaker stuff that I got. So we've seen some pretty cool Studebaker stuff. So to say there's even something better coming, I'm pretty excited about it. Let's see. Wasn't Diamond East logo worth the price and more? I'm not sure if that was it, but they were expensive. It could be all brass. That's a good point, number one. But Jay said he thinks they're brass. So we got another Studebaker piece we're going to look at tonight, and then here sometime in the next week or two, we'll get what I think is the super coolest one out because I haven't even gotten to that yet. I'm kind of saving it for last. But this one's still pretty cool. You remember last week we looked at the Studebaker President badge, and then we had the rear quarter badge for the 56th President that mounted on the car with a chrome ring. Tonight, we've got the horn button out of that President. Now, we saw some of the other Studebaker horn buttons that just were gold with the big Studebaker S in them. This is the President. The El Presidente says right there, when you're driving this thing, you're looking right down at it saying, driving the President. Because it's the top dog, driving the President. This thing has a couple of small hairline cracks in it, but nothing major. It's got an awesome kind of a modified eagle in it. Obviously it doesn't look anything like a bird, but it kind of looks like it's got a wingspan like it's supposed to resemble a bird. It's got kind of these, I don't know, like wreath leaves underneath it, President in it, gold trim on it, light blue background, kind of a goldish on the eagle. God, the car guy needs that mounted on his front door. No, I don't have a dictator. Scott says rub the back with an eraser. Okay, we might try that here in a minute. Joe's Classic, speaking of Studi, Uncle said he barely lost a street race in the day in his Golden Hawk. Yeah, they were pretty quick, especially the supercharged ones. But this did pop right into the center of the horn ring. You can see on the back where it was painted. It is flat. We can see where the edges where it snapped in there. This piece looks like a thermostat. Yeah, does kind of look like a thermostat. It is about that size. The old school thermostats in your house. They're all digital now, but most people don't even remember the little actual round thermostat with the little levers on it. Mark's got that steering wheel. This is about 3 5/8 across on the Studebaker President horn button. Compare that logo to the U.S. President's logo minus the striping. Yeah, and like I said, I think it was kind of loosely based off of that. But you can see on the back where the lettering and the bird and stuff is all actually cast in, and then they added the different colors. So all that is cast into the plastic. Not something that a lot of detail we don't see anymore. Live, Laugh, Shift just found you via one of the ads on Craigslist. Glad to stumble across. Yeah, I've got a couple thousand cars and trucks on the ground. Glad you're here tonight. Live, Laugh, Shift. So let's welcome Live, Laugh, Shift tonight. We've got some new viewers on again tonight, which is awesome. And we keep growing a little bit at a time. And glad you guys are stopping by and hanging out. And hope you're enjoying it. So, but I think this is 56 also because it is the same type of layout. I looked at some pictures of like the 55s and 58s, and they used a different style. So I believe this was 56 as well. Now one backlight it with an LED. Yeah, that's a possibility. And kind of a neat piece. So there we have it. The 1956 Studebaker President horn button, as well as the 30s, 40s era Diamond T hood badge. Scott said rub the back with an eraser and see what it does. We'll try that real quick. Doesn't do much of anything. That or I don't have a good enough eraser. That or it's tarnished too bad. So the eraser isn't helping us any right now, Scott. So I liked them. I hope you guys did as well. Pretty cool pieces. Like I said, at least one more Studebaker piece to come. There may be a couple more in the box, but I know there's one more that I haven't showed you because it's epic. But that's what we've got tonight. Pre-war and post-war badges and emblems. So cool pieces. Hope you guys like them. Great kid, you're still in the way. Okay. All right. Guess it's time for auctions. Time for some auction stuff. And something that we've been running into as far as lags. I don't know if you guys helps. It would help if you guys refresh now. To go ahead and hit your refresh. Make sure you're all caught up on the live for the auction. As always, when we do the live auctions, I will hold up a piece. We'll talk about it. We'll describe it. We'll look at it. We'll look at any damage. We'll give you some dimensions. We'll look at the front, the back, the side, the good, the bad, the ugly. While we're looking at it, if you guys want to go ahead and throw a bid up there, please do, so I at least know that there is interest in that piece for the auction that night. Now, after we get done, Randy already refreshed. He's ready to go. He's on top of it. I just thought I ought to start mentioning that to maybe some of you guys who don't think about it, that refreshing may help. So we'll do that after we get done looking it over, giving you the dimensions, looking at the condition, talking about the car. I will put it on a timer on my cell phone. I have my cell phone sitting right up here in front of me. I will tell you when 1 minute has passed. I will tell you when 1 minute and 30 seconds has passed. Reason I do that is because everybody is on a delay. We run for 2 minutes on each item. When I tell you 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed, it is time to be thinking about your max bid, because some guys are running into 20-second delays. Some guys are a few seconds. Some guys it's 20 seconds. Yes, 2LED full numbers only. I don't care if it's a $1 bid, but I don't want $10.94 because it's too hard to keep track of. So just full dollar bids. I don't care if it's you're just bump at $1, but at least full dollar bids are easier for everybody to see, easier for everybody to follow, and easier for me to keep track of. It's a long arm. Yeah, that's right. Okay, we need to switch so you guys don't get in too much trouble. So I'll have it on the timer. As always, I'll tell you when a minute has passed. I'll tell you when a minute 30 has passed. And then you guys can be thinking about your maximum bid. Now, we've got some snipers on here who are really, really good. Really good. So be thinking about your maximum bid. If you think something's worth $50 and it's only at 30, you might ought to start thinking closer to $50 on your bid, even if it's $48, because usually the guys that do that protect themselves. The guys that go $1 or $2 at a time usually end up getting sniped. But if you have a high enough bid in there on your last bid, the sniper usually cover the snipers. So, please keep that in mind as well if there's something you really, really want. Payment, check, money order, friends and family only on PayPal. PayPal changed a bunch of their rules a while back, and it's a screwed up mess. So, I don't do any regular PayPal. Friends and family only. You can do Western Union, any of that. If you're new to us, you're not sure how it works, but you will see something you want to bid on, go ahead and bid on it. And if you've got any questions, my phone number is in the description part of this video. Call me tomorrow. We'll sort it out. No big deal. Real simple. So don't be afraid if you're new and not sure what's going on. If you want to go ahead and throw a bid out there and you're still not sure tomorrow, just give me a call. We'll straighten it out. It's not a big deal. So Scott's got a 13-second delay between his phone and his iPad. So there you go. And that does affect it. Phone, iPad, PC, laptop, tablet, internet provider, all those things play into it, onto what your delay may or may not be. As always, we'll start off with a few small pieces, lower dollar stuff, and I will read the bids as soon as I see them on either format on these smaller things. Now, when we get into the bigger stuff and we're rolling and everybody kind of knows where we're at, if there's 5 bids come in at one time, I'm only going to read the high bid as we keep rolling. So Kenny says snipers have saved him hundreds. So because of that, what we'll do. Oh, and one other thing, foreign bidders, non-U.S. bidders, if you want to play, not a problem. However, you will be responsible for the money wiring costs as well as shipping out of the country. Reason being, this kind of feeds itself. I sell some stuff. I use that money to go buy more stuff, kind of keeps things rolling. If we spend several $100s on a couple of shipments, that kind of messes everybody else up on the replenishment and things like that. So anyway, number one wants s'mores. Anybody else want s'mores? Number one, you got to watch this, because every time you get in there, you're like cooking a brisket and stuff and making everybody hungry, and now you want snacks, and now you're going to make everybody hungry for snacks. So nobody's doing our part to break the internet. There you go, throwing sparks. All right, let's see. Sign the blank check and our firstborn easy payment plan. There you go. All right. We'll go ahead and get rolling here. Hey, can I have my notepad? Can I have my notepad? Hey, everybody's waiting on the auction. Hey, wake up. Yes, wake up. Move. You want me to sell you? You were in the auction box. Yeah, you were in the auction box. You didn't want to get on the auction box. Now you won't get off the auction notepad. You got to move. Yes, you got to move. See? You don't care. All right, I'm going to get the... Here, can I have my notepad? We don't need the magazine quite yet, so you can sit back down. There. Meow. Put your claws away. No, put your claws... There you go. Let go. Put your claws away. Let go of my shirt. All right. Sheesh. You're a pest. All right. I'm behind on comments. Thanks to you. Yes, you don't care. What? You're in the way. Why are you trying to bite me? You are in the way, and you're trying to bite me. All right. Let's get back to the auction. Holy cow. Let's see. Yeah, that's right. Jason says, coughing up primer. We got business to attend to. Yeah, she's getting some weight back on her. She's definitely getting turned back into her sassy self. So, yeah, it's like, yeah, didn't have to worry about getting anybody a notepad at the impound lot. That's right. You didn't have to worry about getting anybody a notepad at the impound lot. All right. Yeah, that's right. You're talking back. Let's get rolling. We got lots of cool stuff to do tonight. We'll start off with a few smaller ticket items like we usually do. We're going to give you some more badges. We got to get primed up and ready for the auction. And Tweety D's got his notebook ready. Well, like I said, we'll start off with a couple of small things like we usually do, just to get everybody used to things. I will read the bids as soon as I see them. And let's get boogieing. Starting off with some matchbooks. Matchbooks are cool. They're not real expensive. They're great additions to a collection, and they don't break the bank to get into. Plus, it gives us an idea where we're at starting off. First off tonight, Marathon, Dyer's Marathon Service, Battle Creek, Michigan. Look for this sign with the Marathon runner on the Marathon Gasoline matchbook. That's right, Tweety. A lot of these have awesome artwork, including a few of these tonight. We'll start off with the Marathon. Next, we've got Mansfield Cushion Balloon Tires for today's fast cars from the Midwest Grain Company, Turon, Kansas. GOB says hit the like button. There we go. Yes, that's right. Yeah, sorry, number one. These are both single-sided. Nothing on the insides of either one of these. And the third one is the Luck of the Irish, the Shamrock Gasoline matchbook cover. All green, nothing on the inside of this one, but more green, with the 3-leaf clover on the Shamrock matchbook cover. So, that's right. Easier to frame. That's because all you're worried about is the artwork on the front of them, not necessarily what's inside. Bill's got to check on something on eBay. He's going to get back with us. So, anybody like matchbooks tonight? All three of these, one bid. I don't see anything yet, so I hope that we're not going to be in one of those messes we had about a month ago where nothing worked. Jason's going to kick us off at 10. I've got Jason at 10 on all the matchbooks. We are live on the timer. I'm going to make some notes here. Mark at 15. Brian, 16. We're trying to read them as soon as I can to keep up with them so you guys have an idea of what's going on. All right, Brian at 16. We are live on the timer. We're ticking along here. I'm going to get something else out just to roll with next. Alec at 18 on Facebook. And like I told you, we're coming up when you hit the 1 minute mark. I will tell you when we hit the minute mark. I will also give you the minute 30 mark so you guys can gauge this stuff. In fact, we'll probably just go up to the minute 30 point it right now. Alec at 18 is the high bidder on the Matchbooks collection. Minute 20. Jason at 19. And there we go. There's the minute 30 mark. So we're on the backside of this thing. Jason at 19 is the high bidder. Mark at 20. Yep, snipers are waiting with 15 seconds left to go. Mark at 20. 10 seconds left. And that does it. Mark at 20. Bill's back. Did you get it bought, Bill? Did you get anything cool bought on eBay? Yeah, they're cool pieces. Like I said, it's stuff that, some of this stuff doesn't break the bank and it's still super cool. All right, let's do a license plate. Let's squeeze in a license plate there again. This one's a little bit rougher, but it's still cool, and it is 2-digit, so that's always great. So we're going to slide one of those in. Like I said, we're kind of getting our feel for things right now, kind of feeling it out, seeing how things are working tonight. So hopefully it's working out all right with you guys. But for a license plate, let's start off with a 1974 number 54, car 54. Where are you? C54, 2-digit. SF would be Stafford County. It is kind of an orangish red. It's got a little bit of chipping up over here where we've got the still got 3 hours to go. Okay, Bill. So a little bit of chipping in the paint on this one. Still bright colors. The back of it still looks good. Twisted just a hair, but it will mount flat. Mark at 20 is kicking us off on the license plate. Like I said, it's a little bit rougher, but it's cool because it's 2-digit. This is a standard size plate. If I can get to my cat, get off the tape measure. All right, thank you. Standard 12-inch license plate, the normal size we're used to. 1974, 2-digit, Stafford County, car 54. Where are you? Norma at 25. We are live on the timer. Let's get this thing boogieing. Norma at 25 is my high bidder. Yeah, it does have great color. Just a little bit of chipping and stuff, so it's not perfect, but 2-digit plates are always cool. So Norma at 25. Get my notes made. We are live on the timer. This thing is ticking down. And I need to think about what we want to do next. Orange is that rare? Not, I mean, all the Kansas, all the plates that year were the same color. So Kevin says not being perfect is cool. So Norma at 25. Jason at 30. As we hit the 1 minute mark. 1 minute has passed. I've got Jason at 30. Live, laugh, shift 33. Minute 20 has passed. As we hit the minute 30 mark, 30 seconds left, be thinking about those max bids if you're going to jump in on this one. Live, laugh, shift at 33. 20 seconds left to go. Norma at 40. Ten seconds left. And that does it. Norma at 40. All right. Comment on Hawaii. Tweedledee says Hawaii getting new license plates. Anybody have a rainbow will be a collector. I've got one right there. I've got a Hawaii plate with a rainbow right there on the wall. So Addie and I got it at a swap meet several years ago. All right, everybody feeling good about things? We kind of know where we're at. Any issues? Everything seemed to be A-okay as far as what we're seeing. I'm sure you need some more Hudson badge, but getting some thumbs up. That's good. I'm glad. This next badge, let's do a badge now. This is kind of a cool one. It's tweaked a little bit, but it is a cool piece, especially for our Mopar fans. And I know Jason's on here, so. But this is a nose emblem off of an old truck. And like I said, it's tweaked a little bit, and the studs are broken off of it, so it really isn't good for a truck unless you can use double-sided tape on it or something. Great kitty sitting in the box, Bill. They saw you sitting in the box, dum-dum. They saw you sitting in the box, dum-dum. But this badge is really cool. It's a 1948 to 1950 era Dodge truck nose emblem. This is stainless steel. This one is tweaked a little bit. I'm not going to tell you it's perfect. It has a hole right here and a hole right here, which is where the mounting studs broke off of it, which is typical because they were just barely tacked onto these. It's not uncommon for the studs to be broken off of these. It is twisted and tweaked just a little bit, but it's still a great display piece for a Mopar fan. This is 19 inches long, so it's a big piece. 19 inches. The letters are about 1 3/4 inches on the 48 to 50 era Dodge truck. That's right. Jason says made in the USA right there on it, right on the center D. Made in the USA, no doubt about it. No, Great Kitty, get off the keyboard. You're not bidding. You're not going to sit on the number pad because you're not bidding. All right, Cat, you got to be careful, dummy. All right. Are we safe? We got the cat moved. All right. Randy at 20 on the Dodge badge. Let's get this thing on the timer. Okay. Yeah, Cat's funny. Yeah. Good. She's down. All right. Randy at 20. She just jumped down, so we're safe for a little bit. Yeah. LOL meow. Yeah. And some of you guys that haven't been with us for a while here, I mean, it's probably been 6 or 8 months ago. She got to walking around her desk, just walked right across the keyboard and wrecked the whole chat. She just, bam, shut the whole thing down right in the middle of the chat. She wiped the whole thing out. So, yeah, that wasn't very funny. John at 22 on the Dodge truck badge. Better get my notes made. She kind of threw the whole thing off there for a second. David W. 25. Yeah, right. Lucky she's cute. And for some of you, for you new guys, shipping is included on this smaller stuff. Sometimes we do have a bigger item where there will be separate shipping, and I will mention that individually. This smaller stuff is going to have shipping is included. As we pass the 1 minute mark on the Dodge truck badge. John at 26. That's right. She shut us down like we didn't pay the bill. Alec at 25. I got John at 26 on YouTube. Mark at 27. 1 minute 20 has passed. And Alec at 27. Right after that, I got Mark at 27. A minute 30. We have hit the minute 30 mark. Mark at 27. 20 seconds left to go. Whoops. 10 seconds left. Mark at 27. Is Alec going to come back? What do we got going? We're just about done. Jason at 31, and that does it. Jason at 31, just boom, right there at like 159. That was almost too close, Jason, but you snuck her in there. All right, let's do a couple of cans. John was at 29. That came in way late on that one, so Jason had him covered anyhow. Trying to find some different cans, some old metal cans, because we kind of been running out of some different stuff. So I've got a couple tonight. These two are a little bit rough, so we're going to sell a pair of them together and see what you guys think of these. These are going to go together 2 for 1. One of them's Haviland. Yes, one of them is a Haviland. One of them is a Quaker State. These are steel cans. Both of these, you can still see, you see the metal seam on it over here. Quaker State does have some dents and a little paint loss, but it is an early steel can, no barcode or anything on it. So it is full. I will drain this from the bottom. You can still see a little bit of writing on the top. However, it does have a little bit of surface rust on the top of the Quaker State. The other one going with it has a cool look to it. It's a little rough, but it's got a super cool look to it on this Haviland. It's got just kind of a cool, funky age to it. Brian at 10. Brian's kicking us off at 10 on the pair. 2 for 1, both going together. So it's kind of weird. It's got the Haviland over here. It kind of looks like it was, that one, they seamed it right in the middle of the dot. So kind of a weird can, kind of a cool look to it. Mark at 15. Joe's Classic just bought a 67 Polara, and there was an unopened Save ATF can in the car. So these are going together. This one was punched at the top big time, and the bottom is also dented and punched, but it's got such a unique look to it. So like I said, these are a little bit rougher, but they still present well. They still look cool. That's what it's all about. Mark at 15 is our high bidder. I don't know if I can hold both of these or not. But we're going to get it on the timer right now. Mark at 15. We are live on the timer. I'm going to make my notes. And we'll check these things out. See what you guys think. See how talented I am. Probably not very. Mark at 15 on the pair. That's right, steady. That's what I'm trying to be, to steady. Especially because you're bidding on them, Brian. I don't want to tear them up. 2 for 1. As we hit the 1 minute mark on these. Mark at 15 on the pair as we're coming up on the minute 20 mark. 1 minute, 20 seconds has passed, almost to that minute 30 mark. One minute, 30 seconds has passed. We're on the backside of this. If you're going to jump in, now's the time to do it. $20 seconds left. Mark at 15. Dennis at 20. $10 seconds to go. Brian at 21. And that gets it, Brian, at 21. All right. I got a little nervous. She jumped up just as that was finished. I'm holding the cans, trying to watch the timer, watch the bids, and she jumps up. I was going to go tap dance across the keyboard again. Whew. All right. Let's do a hood ornament. Who wants to do a hood ornament? We all like hood ornaments. This one is a little bit rough. It's not busted up. Well, it does have one chip in it, I guess. It's got one chip in it. And it's got some pitting in it. But it's still cool because we love the Rockets. So this one here, like I said, this is a cool patina weathered-looking hood ornament. It's another old Oldsmobile, but it looks like these are so awesome. Look at it coming straight at you from the front. Early 50s, 52, 53-ish on this Olds hood ornament. Eric at 20 has one chip back here in one of these fins. John at 25. Jason at 25 also. Reno at 40. So I think it's kind of, looks like the plane is pointing down a little bit at the front, maybe tweaked a little bit. But there again, these things, these big rocket ornaments are just awesome. They just are. I don't care how you slice it. These things look cool. Come straight at you. Let me give you some dimensions on this thing, then we're going to get it on the timer. It's about 10 inches wide across the jet engine area. Now, overall length, John at 41. Overall length, if I sit this flat on the desk and go all the way to the tip, is whatever you guys can see, about a little under 14 inches. Sam at 45. I've got Sam first. Sam and Reno both at the same time, but I'm showing Sam first at 45 on this super cool rocket hood ornament. So let's get this thing on the timer. That would cable hood in on today's car. That's right, Pete. Sam at 45. Let's go ahead and get this thing going. Reno at 50. Let's see. I got a bid from John at 46. We've already got Reno at 50. So we are live. We are on the timer. We are ticking down. I don't know if we got a good look at the bottom of this thing or not. But I've got Reno at 50 on the big rocket. Yep, it is. These old hood ornaments, they are sexy. There is no doubt about it. Back when style mattered, people cared. It's like, just that's what's like coming right through. I like airplanes, by the way, if you haven't figured it out. This was Oldsmobile, early 50s. Yes, it is factory. We are past the 1 minute mark. We just passed the 1 minute mark. Yep, this is an OE piece. This is factory. 120 has now passed. Reno at 50, and now everybody's kind of sitting there. That's right. You bolt this on, the rear wheels would be off the ground. Minute 30 has passed. 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. Everybody's kind of been sitting on their thumb since Reno hit that $50 bid. Either they're out or everybody knows where they're sitting now. Pretty sure this was Oldsmobile. I think it was 53, but I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it's Oldsmobile. 15 seconds left. Reno at 50. 10. Sam at 52. Alex at 55. Reno at 55. I had Alex first, and that did it at the 2-minute mark. Alex at 55. Style doesn't matter to today's car buyer. They want the dealership to donate their favorite charity. Yep. So we had them hung up there. That's another one of those deals where I got to go with what I see first. Alex came in, then Reno came in, both at 55, and the only way I know to do it is what my screen shows. So we had a hang up there, but I had Alex first is what my screen was showing. So yep, sniped again, says Sam. That has a tendency to happen on here. Some of you guys are getting pretty good. Oh boy, what do we want to do next? Mark says he wants hubcaps. All right, well, I just grabbed another piece. Then we'll do a couple caps next. John wants to bid higher, but he also wants to buy lunch next week. Good point. That means you're being responsible, John. Whatever that means. Yes, Addy has caps ready. These are all Addy caps tonight. But we need to do a badge for our Chevy fans. And this is a great display badge. Big Job just admiring his planes that he won on the auction. Yep, because he's got a couple of killer ones over the last year or so. That's right. Stock up on ramen noodles, says Bill. What's responsible? Says that's right, Tweedledee D. Ain't none of us understand responsibility because we mess with old cars, which means we're not real smart. It's cool, but it's not always real smart. Good point, Randy. Responsibility is overrated. Good point. We've got a badge for our Chevy fans tonight. This is a great display badge because it's tweaked just a little bit to where it really isn't great for a car, but it's an awesome display piece. Need to do a badge for our Diamond T fans. Might be able to do that. Might be a consideration. We'll think about that, Bill. But this badge is for our Chevy fans. And like I said, anybody remember the little Nova that we drug in? Not the wagon, the Nova before that, the little 62 Nova. You remember that, Gray Kitty? She's out like a light, curled up right here, snoozing, right in the way. That's right, Joe. Me are smart. That's right. That's right. Me are smart. Good way to put it. Responsibility is boring. That's another good point. Big Job remembers the little Nova. But on the trunk of that little Nova, Sam says if it's a Nova I'm in, was the super cool Chevrolet script trunk ornament. Now, this is a neat little piece, but it is broke. It's got a little crack right at the bottom, and it's kind of dinged right here. Sam at 25. So it's not, a not great piece to put on somebody's car, but it's awesome for a display piece. Put it in your man cave, put it on your bar, things like that. John at 30. This piece is Highlander says, boo, Chevy. That's because Highlander is a Ford fan. It is 20. Stay on there. 20 and 5/8 inches long. That's right. It's great for a rat rod, Tweedledee D. That's for sure. Perfect look for a rat rod because it's got shiny chrome. All the letters are here, but it's got a few pits. It's got a little crack. Perfect rat rod piece. So 21 and 3/8, did I say? 21 and 5/8 by about an inch and 7/8. So 21 and 5/8, a little over 21 and a half. Reno at 35 is my high bidder on this. So about a little over 21 and a half inches long. It is stud mount. All the studs are intact. You can see the back of it. So like I said, not good enough for a nice show car, but still a super cool piece. If the letters are chipped off and stuff, that really kills it. But nice shiny bow tie, nice shiny letters. Let's get this thing on the timer. I've got Reno at 35. Mark at 37. Mark's trying to cover himself at 43, which he did because Reno came in at 40. So Mark at 43. Reno at 45. Sam at 50. Eric at 47, but already had Sam at 50. Then Mark at 50, but already had Sam. That's right. Big Job's got the warning lights out. This one might get interesting. A lot of people are digging this thing, and it is a cool piece. It really is. Reno at 55. Ford, frequent operators recommend Dodge. There you go. And 1 minute has now passed. We are past the 1 minute mark on this thing. Mark at 60. Randy, that's right, Randy. Looks like they're loading the guns. The big guns are loading right now. A lot of guys are digging this thing. Mark at 60 as we hit the minute 20 mark. Ooh, boxing gloves. There's a new one. Tweely got the glove. Put the gloves on. And a minute 30 has passed. We are at the minute 30 mark. Mark at 60. $20 seconds left. $10 seconds. Pete, 81. Kenny at 68, but I've got Pete at 81. We're coming down to the wire. 65, 65. That does it. There was a whole bunch of them. Pete's $81 bid covered them. 68, 65, 65, 75. Pete's, there again. If you want something, throw a few extra bucks on it, because if Pete had not done that, he would have gotten sniped. Pete at 81. All right, that one was fun. Addy caps. Everybody wants some Addy caps. Let's do some Addy caps. Yep, we had an auction that time. That was fun. That is fun. And that's what makes it fun. And you guys make it fun, and you're great sports. You guys don't get hard feelings on this stuff because we're having fun, and that's what's awesome. It's because we got such an amazing group on here. All right. We got 4 Addy caps again tonight, so we'll do 2 now, and we'll do 2 a little bit later. So the first one we're going to do tonight, this is a early, I think, era, early 50s era. If you're meant to own it, it'll be yours. There you go. Early 50s era Ford cap. Great look to it. This is stainless. Had the Ford letters in it. We have a little bit of the black paint showing the, showing where you can still see there's a little black paint where that was black in the insert. Those are embossed in there. We can see on the back of this cap that they are embossed in there. This is a stainless cap. A few little dings, a few little hickeys, but like most of these caps, great wall hangers, great man cave stuff, cool decorator pieces, and that's what's great about them. Let me give you some dimensions on this thing. 10.5. This one is 10.5 in diameter. Mark at 25 on the Ford cap. I think this is 52, 53, 54, somewhere in that vicinity. But good looking cap. Let's get this thing rolling on the timer as we finish looking up so we can keep things moving. Alec was at 20, but I've got Mark at 25 over here. Pete says it's a great cap except for the bad words on it. Highlander loves Ford, but not a fan of the caps. Jason wants a set of these old school ones like for his Ranger. Mark at 25 is my high bidder at this point. And we're ticking along on this one. Rusty at 30. That's right. Works great for a dog dish, too. Right, Gray Kitty? As we hit the 1 minute mark, I've got Rusty at 30. And Alec at 30 over here, too, right after Rusty. These do work. These also work nice as hats. Yes, they do double as a hat. As we hit the minute 20 mark, I've got Rusty at 30. I had him first on YouTube, and then I had Alec at 30 right after that. But I had Rusty first at 30. As we hit the minute 30 mark, 1 minute 30 seconds has now passed on the Ford cap. That's right, Devo hat. Mark at 33. 20 seconds left to go. Ten seconds left. Big job at 40. And that did it. Rusty came back at 35, but Big Job's 40 had it covered. There again, once again, throwing a few extra bucks on there, save Big Job versus just a small $1 or $2 bid. All right, we'll do one more Addy cap real quick, and then we'll catch a few more here in a little bit. Cat, you're really in the way. Are you aware of that? No, nor do you care, right? No, that's right. You're not caring. You're in the way. You don't know if you're in the way, nor do you care if you're in the way. All right, this next cap we're going to do, this thing is really cool. Chris Ortiz, just a sucker for old cars, period. Yeah. All right. Joe's pretty diverse too. Mopar, Olds, GMC, Fords. How about an Auburn badge? Rusty's got a 40-second delay. Wow. This cap here is really unique. I thought this was really cool. She pulled this out of the box. I was like, wow, that's kind of neat. I wasn't even sure what it was. Knew it was a Mopar, but not sure what. She had to do a little bit of research on it to check this thing out. But it is cool. It's a really neat cap. It kind of looks like a bottle cap, actually. Twist off. It's a twist off. It is from what she found, 1959, 1960 era Plymouth. I thought this thing was cool with this big Plymouth arrow in it. There again, you see what I'm talking about? It looks like a twist off cap. This is a stainless cap. It's in pretty good shape, too. You know, it's got a few typical dings and dents, but nothing bad. This embossed arrow looks really great on here. See on the back where you can see where it's stamped in there. She marked it. That's what she thought for 5960 Plymouth. Mark starting us off at 35. Let me give you a dimension on this thing, then we'll get it on the timer. That's right, Bill. Need some sunglasses for this one as well. I thought this thing was really unique. I don't remember really seeing these. 10 inches in diameter. 10 inches across here on the Plymouth cap. So cool piece. Mark at 35. Let's get this thing on the timer. I'm going to make some notes. We are live. We're boogieing. Mark at 35. I do not have any Hudson trucks, Joe. No Hudson trucks at all. Meow. You don't like being used as a shelf? Maybe you shouldn't stay in the way all the time. Stacking license plates on her now. His neighbor there has 2 Hudson trucks. Yeah, those are pretty cool, but no, I do not have any of them. Well, the only bid we've got is Mark at 35, and we've hit the 1 minute mark. So either Mark's going to walk away with this thing on a smoking deal, or things are going to get ugly. I don't know. It's a cool piece. I'm not very familiar with this. This arrow, the arrow in the middle of this thing, like I said, the cap is 10 inches in diameter, and this arrow is 4 inches. Chris at 65. We're just about to the minute 30 mark. Chris at 65. 1 minute, 30 seconds has now passed. This arrow is 4 inches in the middle of this cap. So it's pretty cool. Chris at 65. 20 seconds left to go. Chris at 65. Mark at 70. 10 seconds left. Mark at 70. And that does it. That was it. I think Chris scared some people off. Chris tried to come back, and he was just a little bit too late. Chris came back with 75, but we were too late. But that is a neat piece. It's definitely different. That big arrow in it, it's pretty cool. Like I said, we were stacking license plates on Gray Kitty. We ought to sell one. This is actually an out-of-state one. Like I said, we get a few things out of state, not much, but it is definitely an unusual cap. There's no doubt about it. That was Hudson badge. All right. Yeah, Reno, I do have Studebaker trucks as well. Yeah. This one, like I said, sometimes I get some from states around here, and that's what we've got now. We've got a Nebraska plate from 1972. This is a little bit different. It's a commercial truck plate from 1972. This is an embossed plate, white with red letters. Actually has the shape of Nebraska on the outline of this, similar to the state of Kansas plates. Reno body parts for 53. I've got some late 40s, early 50s Studebakers in that era. So if you want to give me a shout, Reno. Michael Brown's on with us. Glad you're here. On the 1972 Nebraska commercial truck plate, a little bit different. This is a standard size plate. This is like plain metal on the back. It's not painted. Highlander at 20. Headstock's digging it. Yeah, it's kind of a neat plate. Gary Dahmer made it tonight. So it is a standard size plate. Let's get this thing on the timer. Basic 12x6 plate on the 1972. Kind of hard to believe that's 51 years old now. Commercial Nebraska truck plate. Highlander at 20. Lori at 25. Yeah, the 3-ton sticker does kind of add to it. I got Alec at 25 as well. Reno at 50. Reno at 50 is my high bidder on the commercial truck plate. Don't have any Mercury trucks at all. No, we hit the 1 minute mark, just past the 1 minute mark on this. Reno at 50. Highlander 52. How about the other hand to show you a badge? We can do that as we hit the minute 30 mark. Highlander at 52 at the 1 minute 30 second mark. So yeah, I think 72 was gas rationing error. I wasn't alive, so I don't know. 20 seconds left. The gloves are out. Highlander at 52. 15 seconds left to go. 10. And that does it. Highlander at 52 on the commercial Nebraska truck plate. Reno came at 75, but we were a little too late. Unfortunately, it was over said and done with by then. Alec was at 55 over here, just a little bit too late. So kind of snuck that one out. All right, we got another badge for our Mopar fans. Number 1, how about some collective positive thinking for the Rodgers and Packers to fall to the Lions? Throwing a Hail Mary bet to get a truck before summer. There you go. Another cool trunk badge for our Mopar fans. This one's a bigger one also as well, and it's pretty cool. It's got some pitting in it. It's definitely weathered and aged, but some that actually kind of adds to the character. Plus, it's got an enamel badge in it. So this is the trunk ornament off of a 1949 Plymouth. Now, this is a cool piece. This is a pot metal piece, chrome pot metal housing. It's got some chipping. It's got some peeling in the chrome. There's no doubt about it, with an enamel ship badge on it right here in the middle. It's got kind of a little, kick up here in the middle. Michael starting us off at 5. The back, basic pot metal. It had stud mount, which are still there. David W. at 10. And this is a bigger piece. Jason at 25. It is 17 inches long. So we're 17 inches. Michael at 30. Alec at 20, but I've got Michael at 30 already. So 17 inches long. And about 3.5 high. Now, this center badge is enamel, like the other badges we all love. Right here, this is red and gold on the Plymouth ship. This is a separate piece that goes on it. We can see on the back, it's got a little clip on this and a separate stud mount for the little enamel ship on here. We do see the pitting and the peeling in the chrome. This is a 49, John. This is off the trunk of a 49 Plymouth. So let's see. Michael at 30 is my high bidder. Let's get this thing rolling on the timer, and I'll get some notes made on this 49 Plymouth trunk. This actually has a separate handle below it, so I don't really want to call it a handle. I want to call it the trunk ornament, because the 49 Plymouth had a separate trunk handle mounted below this. This would have been black. Behind the Plymouth letters would have been painted black originally with the enamel badge on it. So I've got Michael at 30 as my high bidder. I'm going to make some notes. As we tick along here, Michael at 30. As we come up on that 1 minute mark, 1 minute has now passed. Yep, you are stealing it right now, Michael. We'll see what happens in the next 50 seconds. So, as we hit the minute 20, we have hit the minute 20 mark. We're coming out of the wire. Everybody just sitting on their thumbs. Yeah, Tweety got the gloves bag out. Yeah, and you're probably right. We'll see what happens. Minute 30. We've hit the minute 30 mark. Michael at $30. John at 31. 20 seconds left to go. Ten seconds left. Michael at 32. X-Ray at 32. I had Michael first. Coming out of the wire. We're just about done. About ready to wrap this one up. Jason at 37, and that does it. Jason at 37 at about the 158 mark. Yeah, that's right. Michael should have kept your mouth shut. Yeah. Some of these guys are pretty good. You know, these guys have got some practice. They've got their timing down pat. That bid came in at about 158 on the timer. That's so, you know, and Jason's gotten pretty good at it. And actually, when it comes to Mopar stuff, Jason's really good at it. So some stuff Jason doesn't get too worked up about. If it's Mopar stuff, Jason's swinging for the fences. All right, some other comments there. Let me get you up a couple of these comments. Joe's Classics, my first live event. Didn't know what to expect. It's pretty good. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate that. I do try to put together a quality program. I build these every week. I build the entire episode out and try to put something together that's good that you guys are going to enjoy. So All right, let's catch another can, another metal oil can. We've done some of these in the past of this style. I don't remember we've done this exact one. There's a lot of different ones. Of course, I try to collect all of them because this is one of my favorite types of cans. That's right, Tweety. Here's Chad. You guys, it's still kind of crazy. You guys consider me the Johnny Carson of car talk shows. I don't think I'm quite there, but I do appreciate the compliments. I really do. There's an Auburn badge for you too, by the way. By the way, Joe, in case you hadn't figured it out, that means it's time to drink. Either one of them or both of them at any given time. Michael at $1, don't even know what it is. These are some of my favorite cans. I try to collect all the different ones. The reason I love them, I remember them from when I was a kid. Kevin says Sunday nights are cool here. Thanks. I appreciate that. These black, red, and white GM cans. I love these things because I grew up on them. John, I'm trying, Chad. First time in 20 years, I'm not working on something. Both my projects are as far as I'm going. Need one more. Well, we can help you out. Kenny says I'm there in his book. Well, thanks, Kenny. I appreciate that. I try. I don't think of it at that level, but I do try. I personally love these cans. I grew up on these cans. Lori at 5. That's fine, Joe. Drink your Coke. That's not a problem. I got a glass full of water. Dennis at 15. I grew up on these. Dad worked at a GM dealer, all throughout the 70s, all the way up till about 90. So I grew up in a GM dealer in the 70s when these cans came out in the late 60s. This is a metal can. You can see the seam on it right there. Big says, "Oh yeah, Johnny, you're there." I'll take your guys' word for it. This is Positraction Axle Gear Lubricant, multi-purpose gear lubricant, specially formulated for year-round use in Positraction and conventional gear axles, not for use in engines. Distributed by General Motor Parts Division, General Motors Corporation. Kevin at 20. This is a standard size quart can, General Motors approved. Group number 8.800, part number 1051022, all still on there. Sam's got Long Branch bourbon. But like I said, these are a personal favorite of mine. I try to collect tons of them. We've sold some of them on here, some of my duplicates from different various types of oils and lubricants. I don't know if we've done Positrack cans or not, but they're cool. I like them. This is, like I said, these are some of my favorite cans, anything in this era of GM can, just because I remember growing up on these. Kevin at 20. We are live on the timer. We are boogieing along. It does not list the weight on it at all, Lori. It just says Positraction Axle Gear Lube. So it doesn't list the weight at all as to what this stuff was. I would assume it's probably something close to 80, 90, but does not say. But I like them. I'm a huge fan of them. But like I said, that's what we remember, what we grew up on, what we used to use. This is what I remember being a little kid when Dad worked at the GM store and was working stuff at home. As we hit the 1 minute mark, I've got Kevin at 20. John's here with us. Dennis at 25. As we hit the minute 20 mark, I've got Dennis at 25. And a minute 30's passed. I've got Dennis at 25. $20 seconds left to go. The suspense is driving Michael nuts. 15 seconds left to go. 10. Lee at 27. And that'll do it. Lee at 27. Lee's a big can fan. He's always in there on the cans. Glad Lee got that one. Another addition to Lee. Lee's got quite a can collection just from what he's gotten here. So, can you ask, I assume you Mr. Good Pliers, John, to check his emails? Yeah, I can do that. I can have Tim tell Tim to check his emails. Now I don't know how much he does on email versus phone. So if you want to, I don't know. I'll send him a text right now. So I'll just fire that off to him right quick and see if he can get back with you. So anyway, let's get caught back up here. Keep rolling. All right. What's posi gear oil? Positive traction rear ends have clutches in them so that when positive traction obviously distributes power to both sides, to both wheels at the same time. However, that requires a clutch pack in the rear end to compensate for when you turn a corner and one wheel is turning at a different rate than the other. So there is a difference in that type of, so they've got to have a special lubricant for that clutch pack. Michael says he never answers his emails either. And I don't answer emails either because I've got so many different emails. And like I told you on all my videos, emails are never clear. Just call me. It's so much simpler. And I think Tim does a lot of that as well. So, I'm not sure. I just sent him a note about that. So maybe he'll check it, but depending on what it was about, he may not have seen it either. So, but anyway, let's keep rolling and see what else kind of cool stuff we've got tonight. $63 darts. Don't need any of that. That's right. My cousin Vinny. I knew somebody was going to bring up my cousin Vinny on that one on the rear end deal. Actually, that about does it for oil cans tonight. I only had a few cans, and I'm just running out of good, cool metal cans. So I need to go through cans again. I've started piling them up out at the yard on an area where I'm going to set them up on shelves. So, plus Tim, when I talked to Tim the other day, Mr. Good Pliers, he just set up a bunch of oil cans. So he said next time I'm through, stop by and check out his cans. So we'll get some cans from Tim as well here, hopefully sometime in the next few months. So it's evident nobody wants those darts. So let's catch a license plate. We got some more Addy caps. We got some epic badges coming up too, by the way. So not out of cans for tonight. I got some other cans, but that's kind of just not real exciting stuff. So I got a couple of cardboard. We can do a couple of cardboard cans if you guys want some composite cans. No Texas plates tonight. Let's see. Nope, don't have any valve covers. And I thought about doing some valve covers, but I didn't get any of those ready. But anyway, let's catch another Kansas plate. A 1955 Kansas truck. This one shows a little age. It's got a little bit of paint loss right here. This one is actually cut out in the shape of Kansas. Not a completely rectangle tag with it embossed. This is actually cut out. No Tennessee plates, Michael. I get a little bit out of state stuff, but not much. I'm literally right in the middle of Kansas. So I don't get a lot of out of state stuff occasionally, but primarily mostly what I come up with is Kansas stuff. This is a 1955 truck. PN, Pawnee County, 4-digit plate, a little bit of paint loss, a little bit of surface rust over here. But like I said, it is actually cut out on here. Michael at 5, back's in pretty good shape. Not all twisted up or bent up or anything. But good looking colors, black background, white letters on the 1955 Kansas truck plate. Tweedledee at 20. Let's get this thing rolling. I had Alec at 15 over here, but I've already got Tweedledee at 20. So Tweedledee at 20 right now. I'm going to make some notes here. Michael at 25, Norma at 25. I had Michael first at 25. Kevin at 30. Norma at 40. Got a bunch of other bids that popped up, but Norma's 40 covered everything. I had Alec over here, Michael, Frank, John. Michael at 41. As we've hit the 1 minute mark, Norma at 50. John at 42. Michael at 51. As we hit the minute 30 mark, we are at the minute 30 mark. Michael at 51. $20 seconds left. Frank at 55. Norma at 60. 10 seconds left. Michael at 56. I've already got Norma covering that at 60. And that does it. Norma at 60. PN was Pawnee County, is what that stood for. It's just west of where I'm located at, the next county over to the west. So, what else we got going? How about some more hubcaps? Let's catch a couple more Addy caps. Norma bringing the heat. That's right. Where's our Chevy fans at? This is like, I don't know, early 60s, maybe like 61 Chevy cap. These are a pretty unique cap. Bright chrome. I think it's, I don't know if it's stainless or, but it's got a bright chrome finish to it. That's right, David W. You're going to need the sunglasses for this one because this thing is shiny. Woohoo! I always thought these were a pretty cool cap. Says Chevrolet on them across around both sides over here. But it kind of comes as the big point in the middle. This actually does stick out into a point. Michael at 25, Chris at 10. But it has these 4 bars, the big arrow in the middle, the serrations right in here. 61, 62 full size says yesteryear, so I was right in that window. Tony says the same thing. Like I said, not a super rare cap, but great wall hanger because they're such a cool design. Thanks, Pete. Appreciate that. Chris at 30. The back of this one, let me give you some dimensions on this. Let's get this thing rolling, actually. Lori at 35. Appreciate you keep taking care of that for me, guys. 10 and 5/8. Mark at 45. 10 and 5/8 across the back on this thing. Michael at 46. Oh, Dad said these are brass. Dad said these were actually brass caps. So there's the bag of it. Michael at 46. Everybody got kind of excited, and then we just kind of slowed up. Sam at 50. As we hit the 1 minute mark. Michael at 51. And a minute 20 has passed. Michael at 51. Just about to that minute 30 mark. Reno's having a heart attack. We hit the minute 30. We're coming down to the end. Michael at 51. 20 seconds left to go. 10. Pete, 55. Mark at 55. I had Pete first. Pete at 55. And that does it. Pete at 55. Michael came back 2 seconds too late. As I hit stop, it was already at 202, and that's when I saw your $56 bid. Pete is who I had at 55 at the 200 mark. Michael, you missed it by literally 2 seconds. Literally 2 seconds. Yep, you were there. You missed literally 2 seconds is how bad you missed it by, how far you missed it by. All right, let's catch one more cap. Let's get the last Addy cap for tonight. And this thing's cool because it's really unique. Rat farts, yep. This is a metal cap with a chrome cap on it. It's a steel-based chrome cap. Really unique. And it's different, and that's what's cool. That's what we like, different. Not one you see very commonly. Cool look to it. And it's one of those that when you hang it in your man cave, your buddy's just like, what the heck is that thing? And you're going to know because it's your cap. That's what's cool about it. I'm not even 100% sure on it, but I'm pretty close. That this, I believe, is the 1958 Oldsmobile. Doesn't say Oldsmobile. Has these little arrowheads on it, but I think it's 58 Olds. I didn't double check this one and see. It is chrome. It is nice and bright and shiny, as you can obviously tell. Yep, different by design. Exactly. It is. Yesteryear says it is 58. Okay, that's what I was thinking. So, Michael at $1. The back of it is steel. It is a metal cap with a chrome cap on it. Mark's got his sunglasses on. That's probably a good thing. Tweedledee at 35. Let me give you the dimension on this thing. It is a little over 10. Reno at 20, Mark at 20, but I've got Tweedledee at 35. Reno at 40. Alec at 20 over here. We're already past that. It is 10 inches across. Let's get this thing going on the timer. It is 10 inches across. 58 Oldsmobile. That's what. And there again, John, it's cool. It's subtle. It doesn't have to say Oldsmobile. All this is all embossed. None of this. This is all actually in the cap. These bars are stamped into the cap. All this ornamentation is stamped into the cap. It's neat. Reno at 40 is our high bidder on this one. It's used. It's got some dings, some dents, some scuffs, some tarnishes. But there again, this is cool man cave stuff, and it's going to be different because nobody's going to know what it is except you. Then you look really smart because everybody said, what the heck is that thing? You know what that is? It's Oldsmobile. I knew that. It does kind of look like an old speaker. That's true, John. Reno at 40. No, I'm pretty sure it's Oldsmobile. I know it's not 58 Pontiac because I've got a 58 Pontiac and I've got dog dish caps for it and they say Pontiac. X-ray's got dings and dents and bumps too. Yeah, I know the feeling. John at 41. As we hit the minute 20 mark, Reno at 45. Jason says 58.7 or 58 Olds. So 57 could use the same cap. As we hit the minute 30 mark, 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. Big Job's ready for bloodshed on this one. Reno at 45. Yesterday says 57 is different, so this is just 58. So 15 seconds left to go. Reno at 45. Mark at 55. We're coming down to the wire. Mark at 55. Reno at 60 at the last second. At the very last second, Reno slid in there with a $60 bid. That was like 159. That couldn't have been any closer. Then we had John, Michael. Michael came in with 61, but that was definitely too late. We had Reno at 60 at the 200 mark. All right. What else we got tonight? Let's see. Let's do some checking here. Oh, we got a great badge here. This is cool. We're going to back it up. We're going to get one of the early badges out. Is everybody ready for a super cool, super early badge? Yeah, these are, we get into some of these, and they are awesome. We love them. We look at them. We study them. I've got tons of them. I share some of the other ones. We sell a few of my duplicates off on here, but they are great. We're all fans of them. I particularly really love them. I've got probably a couple of hundred of them. I still try to add them to my collection. And from time to time, we get some of my duplicates out and we throw them up here. This particular one, while we're on the theme, I'm kind of holding out on you, ain't I? I'm kind of psyching you up because it's cool. 3 colors plus the metal background. 1 7/8, almost 2 inches in diameter. On. Pete says we're killing him. Are we ready? Yeah, ready. The 1929-1930 Oldsmobile. This is a duplicate. I'm going to sell it. One of you guys, Eric at 40, one of you guys is going to get it. It does have some chipping in it. There's no doubt about it. This is one of those that would have had the button on the back that pressed onto the grill shell. That is missing. This is flat. X-ray at 45. Tons of detail in this piece. I'll hold it up in front of this camera. I don't know if you guys can make out some of the detail in this thing or not, or if it gets too blurry. Then I'll hold it up close on Facebook as well. But X-ray at 45. I don't know if you can see this detail in this metal stamping. Then we've got the red and the gold cast into it in the enameling. Hold it up over here on Facebook. Maybe you guys can get a little better look at it as well and see some of the detail in this thing. I've got X-ray at 45 on the Oldsmobile badge. Like I said, it is right at 1 7/8 basically. Upside down, if you can read upside down. On the super cool little Oldsmobile. 1929-1930 era. I hope you guys can see the detail on this thing because it's amazing. Let's go ahead and kick it off. X-ray at 45. Carry in your pocket for a challenge coin. There you go. Alec at 60. Got Alec at 60 on Facebook. 29 Dodge Brothers hubcap. I'm not sure. I've got some of those small caps, but I don't know off the top of my head if I've got that exact one for Freddie. Alec at 60. We're going to see how high dollar it is, Pete. We'll see. Alec might get it at 60. That'd be a steal. As we're ticking away, coming up on the 1 minute mark. 1 minute has now passed. Alec at 60. I don't have any 58 GMC sitting here. I've got a lot of 55 to 59 stuff, but nothing that is actually specifically 58 GMC, Michael. Alec at 60. And we've hit the 120 mark. $130. Alec at 60. $20 seconds left. Alec at 60. 15. 10. Eric at 70. Kenny at 71, and that did it. Holy cow, that was Kenny at 71. And then we got a whole bunch more bids coming in. Kenny at 71 is who we had at 200. Whew. That one kind of got interesting. Most of them come in too late. So you guys should have shot a little bit earlier on that one. But Kenny at 71 is who we had. So that's what we got. But speaking of those little hubcaps, we've actually got some of those to do tonight as well. So let's slide one of those in. Let me see. A couple of comments. Let me get caught up here. Looking for a 58 or 59 GMC or Chevrolet pickup 3-side. I'm not sure what the 3-side is on that, but I don't have any good projects in 58, 59 right now. Have any original gray GM front floor mats for 98 Chevy pickup? That I don't know. I've got some trucks that may be gray interior. They may still have them. Just have to give me a shout so I can get you on my notepad and check it. But speaking of those little grease caps, we've got some of those to do. This is a little bit different. It's kind of whammoed at the bottom, but it's still cool. I've actually got some of these hanging on my wall as well. We've done a few in the past, but thought we would work some of these in too because I like hanging them up, and they are, cool. And there's so many different ones back in the teens and 20s because they had the radiator badges and they had the grease caps, and that was about it. This one's from the Essex Motor Company, not Dodge, but it is Essex. This is all embossed in here. This one's whammoed at the bottom where it said Detroit. David at 20. Got David W. at 20. Essex Motors. It said Detroit, but that's where it took the whammo. But the Essex is still very clear. Has a hexagon type shape on it. This is used. It still has some grease in it. These were threaded on the back where they screwed onto the hub. For the Essex Motor Company, Detroit, Michigan. X-ray at 25. Across the back, this is 2 3/4 on the threaded part. David W. at 30. And across the hex is about 2 1/8 across the hex. So Michael at 31. Got this thing on the timer. Let's get this thing rolling here, make some notes. Michael at 31. X-ray at 35. Michael at 36. Ticking along, coming up on the 1 minute mark. Michael at 36. And there we go. We've passed the 1 minute mark. Michael at 36. As we hit the 120 mark, 120 has now passed. Minute 30's passed. Michael at 36. $15. Michael at 36. 10. X-ray at 38. Michael at 41. Eric at 42. And that does, holy cow. Michael got snipped again by like that much by Eric. Eric at 42. All right. We still got a couple more things to go yet, Michael. We're going to do a few more yet tonight, so you still got a chance. But at least I hope you're having fun. Hopefully you're having fun. That's an important part of it. All right. Let's get a couple more things knocked out here, and then we'll get to the magazine. Oh, and we've got an epic piece coming up too, by the way. We got a really cool piece. Actually, Michael, you might be happy that you haven't been able to spend any of your money when we get to this piece here in a little bit. But we haven't done any Chevy truck badges in a while. Chevy truck badges have always been pretty popular. And I've had some here in the box that we haven't gotten to. So let's go ahead and sell these Chevy truck badges. This will be a Chevy truck badge bundle. In fact, we really haven't done a lot of badge bundles tonight. So let's get a badge bundle in on some Chevrolet truck stuff. Michael's looking excited. We'll start off with a 67-68 era C10 badge. This is a pot metal badge, pretty much a flat mount. Studs. This has original nuts still on the stud. Nice bright chrome. The red in the original still looks pretty decent even. Nice bright shiny chrome on this 67-68 era C10 fender badge. It's about 7 inches long across the bow tie. And it is about almost 4 inches tall on the 67-68 C10 badge. We're going to back up a couple of years, 63-ish, I think, on the C60 fender badge. This was off like a 1.5 ton, 2 ton C60 truck. This badge is 5 inches tall by about 4.5. So it's about 5 tall, about 4.5 across the bow tie. This also still has quite a bit of the original red paint on it. Now, the last badge in the Chevy badge bundle, the 1960 Apache 10. Apache 10 off the front fender of a 1960 Chevy truck. This is a much larger badge. David W. at 25. This is almost 14 by 2. Big Job at 50, almost 14. Kevin at 55. Let's get this thing rolling on the timer. Mike Reno at 100. X-Trading loves Apache badges. Reno's at 100. These are all for one, all one-shot deal. You get all 3 Chevy truck badges. I've got Reno at 100. Michael at 101. Sam at 110. Reno at 120. We're almost up to the minute mark, which is good because these things are heavy. These are all pot metal. Michael at 121. As we hit the 1 minute mark, I've got Michael at 121. All 3 of them, one-shot deal, shipped straight to you. Reno, 130. Michael, 131. A minute 20 has now passed. We've hit that minute 20 mark. Coming up on a minute 30. Michael at 131. And we've hit the minute 30 mark. Michael at 131. Glad we're getting close to being done. These are heavy. 20 seconds left. I'm going to shuffle them around a bit here. Reno, 135. Ten seconds left. Reno at 135. Michael at 135. I already had Reno at 135. We got a few seconds left. We're just about done. And that does it. Reno. Reno at 135. Michael at 136. Once again at 202. Michael, we got to get you in here on one of these. I'm trying for you. I got to go when I see the 200, and I did, and then boom, I saw your bid. But we still got a couple things to go, Michael, so stay tuned. We'll try to get something. Hopefully we get you at something at 200. Let's catch one more license plate and a couple more badges. Let's do another badge. Actually, let's do a horn button. Love doing horn buttons. They're kind of cool. Maybe you'll dig this one, Michael. I'm watching for you close. I'm trying to watch you really close. This is a cool horn button, plastic, great colors in it. And these are cool badges and ornament type pieces too. So, but these are neat because they're cool display pieces. They're bright colors, and yeah, that was fun actually. Maybe this one looks familiar. Check that out. Yes, this is a duplicate on the Studebaker President horn button. You can have your own. I've got one. This is a duplicate, so we're going to sell this one. If we recall, Eric at 40. This thing is David W. at 50. About 3 5/8. Mark at 60. It's about 3 5/8. We'll go ahead and keep rolling on this. We'll get on the timer because we've already studied this one today. Mark at 60 on the Studebaker El Presidente horn button. Let's see. Jeff had a $10 bid. That must have been really old that didn't get in, that didn't feed right away. Mark at 60. As we come up on the 1 minute mark, and there she is, 1 minute's past, Mark at 60. I think everybody's kind of seeing where they're at on this one. This is cool. Only used it for a year or two. Not many of them out there. We sold the side badge last week. Here's the horn button that goes with it. Minute 20 has passed. Minute 30. We have passed the minute 30 point. Mark at 60. 20 seconds left to go. Ten seconds left. Eric at 65. And that does it. Eric at 65. Right there at about that 158 mark. Eric timed that one just about perfect. Lions 13, Packers 9. Michael's over here just said Lions take the lead. So, all right. License plate and a badge. Let's catch a couple more things, then we're going to get to the magazine. The next license plate, this is a beautiful plate. Excellent condition. I'm pretty sure it's used, but it could. I mean, yeah, it's had screws in it. It's had screws in it. I can see some small scratches in it. On another 2-digit plate, expires November of 72, Kansas, black background, white letters, 2-digit number 94. You can look at the shine on this thing. This is a standard, 12 by 6 inch plate. This is a full rectangle, does not have the state cut out. We can see where it's stamped in and embossed into the metal. Mark at 50 right out of the gate on the 2-digit Kansas plate. Get this thing live and rolling. This thing is in great shape. If you look really close, you can see where it has had some screws in it, but it was well preserved after that. Mark at 50. Yes, it is definitely a clean plate. What are you doing, Gray Kitty? Yep, Kansas black plate. That's exactly right. Denny's on with us on Facebook. Gary's digging it. Mark at 50. Yeah, exactly. It's 50 years old. Holy crap. That's right, X-Ray. It's 50 years old. And we're at the 1 minute mark. And we've hit the 120. Mark at 50. This might get interesting. And there's the minute 30 mark. $20 seconds to go. Mark at 50. Norma at 60. 15 seconds. Norma at 60. 10. Michael at 65. Mark at 65, but I've got Michael first. And that does it. I had Michael at 65, Norma at 201. Michael got that one at 65. Norma was at 70, but that was 201. So just missed it. Got Michael at 65 on that one. Congratulations. I don't know what that emoji is, but it's pretty funny. And John was at 72 after that, but man, that was tight because same thing that just happened to John where he was about a second and a half too late. That's when I got Norma's bid on that one. So John at 65 on the beautiful 2-digit black and white plate. One more thing to catch tonight, then we're going to get to the magazine. If we can get Gray Kitty sleeping butt off the magazine. You going to get off the magazine so we can read it? She's out. One more piece tonight. Another badge. It's awesome. It's cool. I think I saved the best for last. You guys are going to tell me whether you bid on it or not. I think it's cool. I think it's a great piece. I personally like them. I've got some in my collection. So I hope you guys dig it. I hope you guys like it as much as I do. It is early. It is cool. It is awesome. It is beautiful. And we just looked at it. That's a spare. I've got another one. I'm going to sell this one to one of you guys. So you tell me if you guys like it or not. I think it's cool. You guys want Eric at 80. Okay, I guess you guys like it. We're going to start it off at 80. We're going to kick it on the timer since we've already looked at it. I'm going to give you the dimensions real quick one more time. It is 12 inches by 2 inches. Mark at 110. Big job at 100. I've got Mark at 110. We are on the timer on this thing. Eric at 120. Like we talked about earlier, this is primarily 30s, early 40s. David W. at 125. And Mark at 125, but I already had David W. at 125. Like I said, this does have all the original mounting screws in it. Mark at 135. All 6 original screws are here with nuts, still intact. Cool piece. It really is. Like I said, I've got another one, and I figured, well, there again, I can't hoard it all. I'd like to, but I also like, one, it helps support what I do here financially. It adds epic pieces to your guys' collection. So I told you I saved the best for last. We've hit the 1 minute mark. There we are. We're past the 1 minute mark. We're going to find out what's going to happen in 60 short seconds on this one. And like I said, I think it's awesome. We're going to see how awesome you guys think it is. Mark at 135. As we hit the 120 mark. $130. We've hit the 130 mark. I've got Mark at 135. $20 seconds left to go. 15. 10. Pete, 150. Bill, disc 154, and that does it. Kenny was 160, but it was too late. I had Bill Disk at 154. Holy cow, a whole bunch of bids pouring in. Alec at 160 over here, but Bill Disk at 154 is who I had at 2 minutes. I had 4 bids over that right after we announced that. 155, 160, 160, 161, 168. Bill Disk at 154 is who we had at the 2 minute mark. Wish we could have switched that one out another 5 seconds. All right. That was fun, but it's cool. Those are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pieces. So had a lot of fun with you guys tonight. Michael finally got something. Congratulations. That's what this is all about, having a good time and enjoying it and adding some cool stuff to your guys' collections. All right. Now, back to our regularly scheduled programming. All right. Time for some magazine. As always, yeah, that's right, Kevin. It was a great auction night, and thanks to everybody for participating. Thanks for everybody for having fun. And there again, Michael, some of you guys, if you haven't bought before, if you have any questions, just give me a shout tomorrow. We'll get it straightened out. Not a big deal. Tonight's magazine, we're getting into one of the little mini magazines we opened in the viewer box a couple of weeks ago. We'll kind of spread these out. They're all the same window. They're all 58 to 61 mini mags. So we'll do one here and there. We won't do it one after the other because it'll all be kind of about the same stuff. So we're going to catch one tonight, but there's about half a dozen of them. We'll work them in over the next couple of months. So Leo says, great show. Appreciate that. Thanks, Leo. Tonight, we're going to start with custom cars from July of 1960. That's right, David W. We do need to wind down a little bit after that. Need a badge to kind of help wind down. Very interesting 59 Oldsmobile on there with 6 headlights right there on the cover. Obviously, not much color in these other than the cover. At the bottom of this, we've got I think this was a Chevy at the bottom, kind of a green one. You guys keep talking about dessert. You're making me hungry. But what do we have we're in this one, we will catch the whole thing. These mini mags are pretty small, so we will catch the whole magazine tonight as we kind of work through these. Auburn badge. Cover price, 25 cents. As we get into this thing, we'll start off with the first article. A lot of great pictures in these, but they are all black and white. There are a ton of cool cars in here. Not a lot of ads, but a lot of cool cars. Maybe that's why these didn't stick around very long. They didn't have a lot of ads, but they had a lot of articles. Articles didn't pay too well. Showtime USA, Bakersfield, California. Parades, radio, television, glamour. It doesn't take much auto show fanfare to create an interesting car show. More important, it's fun. Lots of pictures from the Bakersfield, California car show, Showtime USA. Check out the parade of the 59 Caddy right there in front, the Corvette. And some cool shots inside from the show. A Radical Sports Coupe fiberglass, a custom Corvette, custom Ford pickup. Twin engine, front engine dragster. Customized 53 Chevy hardtop. And well, like we see in a lot of these mini mags, go-karts. Go-karts were a big deal back then. Reno's got a bail. Glad you made it for a while tonight, Reno. Yeah, I can sign it. That's not a problem. I can sign the back of it. I'm actually going to take a picture of that so I don't forget, because I'll forget. And more cool pictures. Even an airplane, Model A pickup, motorcycles. Michael's digging them. Everybody's there. There's just a lot of cool stuff in here. Sign it. Here's Johnny. Yeah. Since it's a black plate, Michael, I'll use like a paint marker if that's cool with you. I'll sign it with like one of these yellow paint markers if that's okay with you. And got an El Camino boats. I mean, they had everything: boats, planes, motorcycles, go-karts, and cars. Well, this is 1960, so that Corvette was, let me see if I can tell what year it was. It was a 57. The Corvette was a 57, and this magazine's in 60, and the car was already done, so. Yeah, I'm not going to charge anybody for an autograph, trust me. The next article we're going to look at, this is kind of cool. How to Draw Cars, Part 5. The cutaway shot shows the front passenger seat and door in a 60 Pontiac. Texture and contrast is provided by white, gray, and black lines, while further appeal is lent by salt and pepper pattern on the door panel. Sunlight and shadows are employed for more interest and better definitions of shape. You got to remember, we're working with black and white, and this is talking about how to use shadowing and the different colors and the salt and pepper type pattern to show different depth, different lines, different angles, things like that. How to Draw Cars, Part 5. Yeah, John, I can forward that on. That's not a problem. And here it shows drawing dashes, things like that. And that's why everything I do. So all my videos say you guys have got to call me. I don't know if Tim has his number on all of his stuff or not, but I know everything I put on it. I put my phone number on it and say, just call me, because then we can sort it all out. And I can get all the information from you to know if I've got anything that might be able to help you out with your project. So that's why I put call me on everything. And I don't know if Tim has his number on his ads or not, but I'll forward it on. So. But there again shows the drawing the dash, the center point on the steering wheel, and how it all comes together, and using the different shades of gray to show depth. Field District remembers using tracing books in school to draw cars. What happened to the previous parts on how to draw cars in other magazines? They may be, like I said, I just got these magazines out of the viewer box from a couple weeks ago, so I don't know. I don't know if the rest of them, I don't know if we've got the other parts to them or not. I just grabbed one out of the stack. A few more shots of them. And on to the next article on the cover car. 6 for the road. The 1959 Oldsmobile that we saw on the cover with 6 headlights. There we got a shot of it on the front. Now, if you're familiar with 59 Oldsmobiles, they had quad headlights, one here, and the center one was actually the park light. They eliminated the park light there. I don't know if they put it down here under the bumper or what. So it had a turn signal and put a full headlight in the middle, so it had a 6-pack of headlights. Read a little extra tonight. Got to run to the store for milk. So, most important glass of milk in the world coming up. Okay? We'll take your word for it, number one. On the 6 headlight 59 Olds. We can see all the cool paint and stuff. Now remember, 1959 Oldsmobile. Now, customizing a 59 Oldsmobile today would be pretty commonplace. That's an old car. Remember, we're in July of 1960. This is a brand new car. Looks like they did a heck of a job on it, though. The next feature car with a new look and more go, Louis Stojanovich's custom is a proud Plymouth. Check out the little 46 to 48 Plymouth Coupe. And a few more shots of it on the inside. And there's something really cool in here too that I don't have no idea if it worked. But study this here for a second and tell me what you guys think of this cool inside of this Plymouth. Trunk, interior, we got a cool shot from the rear. A lot of neat, interesting things here. A lot of cool stuff happening. We see the Naugahyde tuck and roll type stuff. It is kind of gangster. It is sweet. But what stood out to me, that's right, Michael, the cell phone. It's a regular wall phone hanging in there. I doubt it. I don't know how it could have worked. I mean, the technology was kind of starting, but Randy caught it too. Yep, that's what caught my eye, the phone on the dash. I don't know, maybe you plugged it in when you got home. I don't know. The next article we're going to check out is the other cover car, Maxwell Smartphone. That's right, Mark. I don't know where that car is today, and the telephone is too much. That's true. The other cover car down here at the bottom, the green Chevy. Self-styled showpiece on this 53 Chevy two-door. That's right, Kenny, wind it up. And a few more cool shots of this little post Chevy. Definitely 60s era seats in that thing. 57 Thunderbird front bumper with a whole custom nose. Now, the next article, I thought this was so great. It was a super simple customizing tip that they had a little how-to article on. Now, it took me a second to look at these, and then it kind of clicked as what it was. But the 51, 52 era Packards, if you guys can picture those in your heads, if you remember the 51, 52 era Packard, that's right, true. Most people couldn't dial one of those phones now, X-ray. Big job. Thank God we didn't have cell phones when he was a teenager. Our phone in our car was ruined a lot of fun. It had to be a long phone card, Kenny, that's for sure. But the 51, 52 era Packards, anybody can picture those in their head. They had these ornaments on the rear quarter panels. And they had kind of an interesting article about those particular quarter panel pieces on the Packard. This article is entitled Trim Top Scoops. Packard fender trim moves up to top styling. They got nobody hot rods those old Packards, but check this out. Taking those quarter ornaments and adding them to the roof for scoop type treatment. Even shows drilling the holes, the whole bit. Now, it says here, these chrome accessory items may be purchased at local Packard dealers for the low price of $2.50 each, or from the local wrecking yard at a more economical fee. They were $2.50 a piece, brand new if you ordered them from Packard. And it gives you the whole process, walks you through it, and then even shows how they painted and pinstriped around them on the roof. Yep, claw hammer tapping the punch, yep. So definitely kind of a different way to look at them, but a cool how-to article. The next hot rod we're going to check out, called Rolling Advertisement. This is kind of interesting, and I don't know if I like it. So that's right, Bill. $2.50 wasn't cheap. That's true. That's right. A lot of guys probably making 50 or 60 cents an hour on a normal, like a kid working at the gas station probably made 50 or 60 cents an hour, maybe 75 cents an hour or so. But this next car, I'm not sure I'm a fan of it. Body shop owner Bob McNutt built this Lincolnized Ford as a rolling advertisement for his shop. And actually, it has Oklahoma plates, so the car must have been here in the Midwest. But well, I don't really particularly care for what he did for this car. But there again, it was a different time, and he dug it. It was cool. But Lincolnized Ford. Basically, it's a 39 Ford Coupe with a 48 Lincoln rear. So I'm not sure I'm into this. But obviously, I'm a fan of 39 Ford Coupes. A lot of you guys know we've got one stashed that we're going to do something with one of these days. But obviously, we can definitely see the 39 Ford up here. We can see the chop top, and we can definitely see the late 40s rear fender and taillight from that Lincoln extending past that. Now, obviously, I'm a fan of the 39 Coupe, so I'm a fan of this sloping trunk lid. 3940 Ford, probably one of the best looking coupes ever designed. Great body lines. To me, this kind of takes away from that personally. We can see the rear of the car. We see how far this slope comes down. We see the Lincoln rear fenders and taillights. Bob McNutt. So, cool car. I'm sure it took a lot of work, but definitely not my taste. Now, anybody see those caps? Anybody recognize those caps? And from the front, the thing looks like a 39 Ford with the exception of the headlights. Joe was going to say Stevie Wonder. Well, like I said, it's the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I'm not a fan of it. Anybody identify the hubcaps yet? But the front of it was 39 grill, 40 headlights, which I like the smooth 39 headlights. That's right, yesteryears they are Buick caps, 55, 56 Roadmaster. The flipper, the 2-bar flipper for the 55, 56 Roadmaster is what those were. Easy to change the Buick plastic center out of and make them whatever you want. We see the 44 dash. Eye of the beer holder, yep. The trunk does still open. I mean, that had to have been huge. You could probably put another car in there for as long as that thing went. Auction off the magazine after you go through it. Well, we could probably do that sometimes too. 44 dash in this one. To me, the dash and the headlights, of course, the rear takes away completely from the 39. On this particular car, the dash and the headlights take away from the 39 for me as well. No cell phone in this one, Michael, so. But we'll move on to the next car. So this one's a lot too. This one's almost too much of a custom. That's right, Mark. You can smuggle a lot of your friends into the drive-in in that thing. You can stack a lot of people in there. John is geeking out about this magazine. Good. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of doing these. Looking back at them with 20/20 hindsight. This next car we're going to look at, stitched and scalloped. Beautiful car. Took a ton of work, but for me, once again, this one's almost too much. 1955 Buick Special, and it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. I know they had a lot of work to do, and it took a ton of time. The paint, I can kind of go with. The interior, to me, is a little much. Looks like something bad Chad, but yeah, he does do some pretty wild stuff like that. That's a good point. Pete doesn't like it either, but it was an incredible feat. That was a lot of work to do back then. And when we get to some of the ads, it's going to make even more sense. So 55 Special is a pretty good looking car. This one's almost a little bit too much for my personal taste. The next article we're going to check out another. Yeah, it's a very loud interior. That's a good way to put it. We're going to find out how to get to 6 headlights. It's a tech article. 6 steps to 6 headlights featuring the 59 Oldsmobile we just looked at. That's right. It was only a 5-year-old car too. But in case you want to add a couple of extra headlights to your car, they're going to teach you how to do it. Kevin's got to bail off. Another great night. Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate that. Give you one more Hudson badge before you bail off. But literally goes through the steps in the process to adding those extra headlights to the 59 Oldsmobile nose. Now, obviously, as we've seen, headlight modifications were an extremely popular thing for custom cars back in the late 50s and into the 60s. Extra bulbs or extra high beams. Yeah, you want to see that thing coming down. Yeah, you'll definitely get flash with those. They had an old article, What's New in Headlights? Lucas Light, sculptured metal, and frosted coverings are the most popular choices in the latest headlight creations. Obviously, building a custom car back in the 50s and 60s, you wanted to change the look and make it special. Headlights were an important part of that. They literally have an entire article dedicated to modifying your headlights with different styles. 60 Impala with 4 taillights. That's kind of, they shortened it up. But how many of the signs are part of the raffle? This one is the part of the raffle. That one is part of the raffle. This is mine. This is going to stay here. And then Randy said he would do another small piece. So there will be another small piece we'll get up here. So we will have 3 small, this one, that one, and one other small one. There will be 3 of them. So more cool headlight modifications. Oh, 4 on each side. So they added, okay, that makes more sense. They added an extra one. 60 Impala. That was a lot of lights on the back of that Impala. Michael got to jump off. Peace out, says Michael. So glad you were here. I hope you had fun tonight. As well as a few more. One more car to check out, a Reader's Custom. And there again, 1955, 5-year-old car, 1955 Pontiac. This one, once again, is almost a little much for me, but it's a little more tasteful than a few of the other ones we looked at. Just a lot of custom paint, worked around a lot of the stock trim. Now, these stripes up here follow the factory body side molding. Star Chief door moldings. I don't know if this car was a Star Chief or not, but it does have Star Chief door moldings. Still has the strips on the hood. All this is stock. Just a lot of custom paint and flipper caps that kind of followed a lot of the lines of the car itself. What was the car in the middle of the right page? Not sure which page we were on, Scott, since that just popped up. Yep, headlight swap is a big deal back in the 60s. Middle car in the middle of the right page. I don't know if it was on this headlight stuff, Scott, or where we were talking about, since that just popped up. So I'll keep an eye out on that, Scott, see if we can catch that real quick while we look at the Pontiac and try to figure out where you were at on that comment. And then we will get to some ads. Looked like a sports car. Oh, I assume probably this one. I assume you're talking about that, Scott. Would fit right in San Antonio, says John. There's some crazy paint there. Okay, that. I just looked. That was a Corvette. And if we look real close, we can see the little bumps in the hood up here, like a 57 Corvette would have. It says it has a lengthened nose on this Corvette. So this would have been probably a 56, 57 Corvette that they lengthened the nose out on. That's right, Bill, like 6 taillights on a C2 Corvette. Yep, I remember seeing that modification as well. Studebaker had a prototype with Sylvania fluorescent headlights. So that answers the mystery on that one, Scott. Let's catch some ads. Who remembers the flat glass airplane headlights, 5-inch, put in place of the regular high beams? You had to put them on a reel, they would kick off. I don't remember. Don't ever remember that. Big job. But let's get to some ads. Starting off with Shopper's Showcase, talking about some new products. Now, one of these new products we need to consider, just like when we looked at that 39 Ford with the Lincoln rear end on it. As we get to this Shopper Showcase, about how new low-cost repairs can be made to your present custom with plastic body filler. Freddie Bates has got to bail off. Glad you were here for a while tonight, Freddie. Hope you had fun. Yep, plastic body filler was a pretty new thing. So you think about not having a lot of plastic to use on some of those wild customs. That was a pretty big deal. Of course, Almquist, we talked about Almquist Engineering on here before, Performance Parts. They had a new catalog, as well as we had valley covers for the cars where the intake sat up above the engine. They had a valley cover. You could get finned aluminum valley covers for most V8s at that point as well. But you put into perspective the new plastic body filler that's coming out, and look at some of those wild customs. I think some of that may have been lead work. That's a lot of work. That's some talent to make all that happen. The next couple pages, we've got the new J.C. Whitney catalog. We've also got the By-Rite catalog from By-Rite Auto Specialties. Hubcaps, grills, fender skirts, tools, carbs, air cleaner. Plus, make more with auto mechanics, as well as the Shopper Showcase continues with Metal All. Practically every metal can be polished with a high luster with this new polish. A dial tire gauge, as well as separate 3-deuce air cleaners. Yeah, Mark, a lot of all those 4.6 Ford V8s in that time had aluminum intake, and they all went out because we sold a ton of those 4.6 plastic intakes for those Fords in that era. That's right, plastic body filler, spray on chrome. Number 1 made it back. Hope you got your milk. Now, we got to kind of skip to the back of the magazine because that's about it for the ads in the front. Like I said, a lot of content, not a lot of ads, but maybe that's why these things didn't stick around very long. In this section, these are all small ads, so we'll look the whole thing again. Man, my neck is all tight. New gauge kit from the Cold Spring Product Company. An ad for Wall Custom Cars. Use the new customs from the West's outstanding custom car lot. Fords, Mercs, Chevys, Olds, Plymouths, Cads. We buy, sell, and trade. 15 years of satisfied customers. This coupon worth $25 on purchase of any car from our lot. Custom cars at legitimate prices. Wall Custom Cars, 3900 East Firestone, Southgate, California. As well as the New House Automotive Industry new giant catalog for 1960. The electric weld brazen cut from the Midway Welder Company, and you can order your club jackets from Stylized Emblem Company, as well as a reader's ride on a 59 Impala with custom grill and taillights. Actually, a couple of them. One of them, the 58 Buick grill, one of the 59 Buick grill. Let's check some of this stuff out. I'm making marks in that, Kurt. Got to go to the chiropractor Tuesday. I got a buddy who's a chiropractor, but I haven't been there to see him yet. I got to get over there and see him. So, we see the 59 Chevy Customs. This one has a 58 Buick grill. This is a 59 Buick grill. We see the custom taillights in this one. Here's our gauge kit. Here's the ad for Wall Customs, a used car lot specializing in custom cars. The New House catalog, the welder, and, of course, order your club jackets from the Stylized Emblem Company, custom made with your club logo on them. One more kind of the same thing, just several small ads. Yep, nobody's club jackets. I would have to see who can make them. I don't think these guys could. But coming up in the August issue, Styling Studio, the latest in crazy interiors, the new Almquist catalog, as well as stainless steel and tubular type custom grills from the J.C. Whitney Company. We've seen that before. Jackets $9.95. Is that how much they were? Prices include all lettering and emblems, $7 to $25 in club lots of 6 or more. $7 to $25 depending on what you ordered on them. But here's the Almquist catalog. Here's the J.C. Whitney custom grills. We've seen those before. Coming up in the August issue, Crazy Interiors. Another home welding kit as well. And finally, the back cover from Honest Charlie's. Honest Charlie's Speed Shop. They had the back cover. I say the whole back cover, but it's a pretty small magazine. Remember, these little mini mags are 8 by 5. So it's only 8 by 5. So the back cover isn't huge. But once again, they've got go-kart kits like we talked about. Go-karts, big deal at that point in time. Color Chrome, transparent coloring for chrome. Pagan Gold, Candy Apple Red, Oriental Blue, or Persian Green. Available for $1.98 a can. Starfire spinner, add a flipper to your hubcap, or buy full cross-check flagged 4-bar spinner wheel covers with checkered background. Set of 4, $29.95. Set of 2, $15. The spinners were $1.95 each. So lots of cool stuff from the Honest Charlie Speed Shop. John's like $10 on the magazine. This came out of a viewer box, so I really probably shouldn't sell it since it came out of a viewer box. So there we go. That pretty much wraps us up for the July 1960 issue of Custom Cars. Another one of the mini mags. This is fresh out of the viewer box from a couple of weeks ago. Like I said, these are all kind of tied in the same window, so we'll kind of work through them. We won't do them all back to back. We'll mix some other stuff in the meantime. We'll definitely catch them all because they're pretty cool. Obviously, you guys dig it. A lot of cool comments. John's salivating over it. But glad you guys enjoyed it. You know, every week we have a lot of great comments on the magazine section. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. It's so much fun going back in time with 2020 hindsight, knowing what we know now and looking back at what was going on at whatever point in time we pull the magazine from. The viewer box was a couple weeks ago. We opened it on Toy Tuesday. So, so we can do all that too. On the license plate, you can do check, money order, Western Union, or PayPal friends and family. My mailing address and the PayPal info is in the description part of the video, or give me a shout tomorrow if you can't figure any of that out and if you have any questions. Just give me a shout tomorrow and give me a call. Don't text me tomorrow when I get busy. Just give me a call because if I get texts from weird numbers and I'm busy, I don't pay any attention to them. So best thing to do is call me tomorrow if you can't figure any of those out. But the mailing info and the PayPal info for friends and family PayPal is in the description of the video. So, anyway, super cool. Glad you guys liked it. And that's what's fun about it. Lots of great comments about the magazine. So glad you guys had fun with it. Let's keep moving on. We're going to do trivia, and we'll catch trivia tonight. Trivia, I think I'm just going to start backing off of it. Trivia takes a lot of time to do, and it's like this much of the episode. Because by the time I sort through videos and then try to keep the winners straight and things like that, it's kind of tricky and it's extra work. I don't think it adds a lot. If you guys think trivia adds a lot to the show and we need to keep doing it, be sure to let me know. If not, I will probably, I'll probably start weeding that out. Time constraints. And if you guys want something different, we can put something in, but we go pretty long anyway. So we've got trivia tonight, but we'll probably start backing off of some of that. When I redo sheets, I probably won't even work it in unless you guys really, really want it back. Tonight, we're going to give away another oil can. Since it might be the last one we do for a while, we're going to give away another one of these metal Haviland cans. We started off giving away oil cans, so I thought we'd give away an oil can since we may not do any more trivia for a while. Let's see. What do we got going for comments here? Oh, okay. There's a question about what a viewer box is. A lot of viewers gather up stuff they think that myself as well as you guys will enjoy and then send them to me and I share it with you guys. It's awesome that some viewers do that. Some viewers throw up some super chats from time to time. That's awesome. I always love to see the big bright colored box pop up and the super chats pop up. The viewer boxes are awesome. So it's a lot of fun to do those and share them with you guys. Trivia tonight. As always, I'll put it on a 90-second timer once I read the question. When we dug through the old 39 Cadillac the other day, what were the pictures dated? Does anyone remember the pictures of the 39 Cadillac that we found and what the date was on those? So keeping an eye on things right now as we boogie along. Getting ready to talk about the raffle. Number one got it. Number one was on it. June 17th of 1978. Number one, numero uno. I got some stuff for you anyway, so we'll put that with your pile. And like I said, unless you guys really, really want more trivia, I'm probably going to focus more on other parts of the show more so than trying to get, a trivia question wreaked in there just for that much of the whole episode. For the amount of time it takes for me to go through videos, find something that is a little tricky but not too tricky, and then deal with shipments and try to keep that straight with everything else, it takes a lot of time. Mark likes it. We'll think about it, but I'm kind of inclined to start backing off of it. So we'll put that for numero uno with his other stuff. In fact, I'm going to write it on there right now. I got my marker out right now. Number one. Raffle time. Let's talk about the raffle. Big Buick oil can. Farmers Ranch. I knew the Dole was going to be too easy. I knew the Bob Dole thing was going to be way too easy. That's why I didn't go with that. But this packet is everybody that got in this week. Now, Big Buick oil can. If you want to be in here, $1 per chance. Same deal. Check, money order, PayPal, friends and family. If you don't use PayPal, friends and family, PayPal is going to take part of your entries with their fees. So that does short you on entries on if you don't use PayPal, friends and family is what goes into the Big Buick oil can. This month, we have the epic Randy signs. These are hand-painted pinstripe work from our own Randy. Now, if you guys weren't with us last week, even if you were with us last week, it's still worth talking about again. Randy trained with the legends. Randy was taught directly, firsthand, by the legends. Ed Big Daddy Roth and Von Dutch. He worked with both of them back in the late 70s. He learned the trade from them. That's how he became a sign painter. So he did these pieces for us. We'll see if we can get another small piece out of him before the drawing. So we'll have 3 of them. And like I said, I'll get with you, Randy, and figure out what I owe you and get that check in the mail with that other stuff we talked about here by Tuesday. This one is one he did for me, as well as a couple of other pieces he did for me that we're going to hang up around here, including the super cool little Everybody's a Somebody at Nobody's. Pretty amazing work. When you look at this thing, when you glance at it, it doesn't look like much. But just like we talked about the black and white shading for effect, look how he used the purple on the white for the effect on this lettering. Maybe trivia once a month, 12 times a year. That might work. That might be a good idea to do it once a month. Because that would make it much simpler on me, too. So, this is hand done. All this striping, dating, these are custom pieces for the raffle. Now, Randy can do any of this. You guys can get a hold of Randy directly. He can make you one for your car because that's what he does. He's a sign painter. He's extremely talented. You can see by this stuff how cool it is and what he's capable of doing. So you guys can get a hold of Randy directly if you want, and he'll make you anything for your car, your garage. You know, he can make Big Jobs shop. He can make Pete's garage, Pete's man cave, any of that. Mike, he can make, Mike's man cave, make anything you want. He can do all that stuff. So perfect, Randy. That's awesome. Glad to hear everybody's excited about it. Who's in right now in the Big Buick oil can? There's names already in there from the first week. I'm sure you guys will see some familiar names already in there, already excited about this raffle. Norma, Johnny Z, X-Ray Dean, Mark Falcon, Bill Disk, Alec Blanchett, Jason Withrow, Kenny Peterson, Zach Thompson. Those I got this week. If you sent it this week and I didn't read your name, be sure to get with me to make sure that you are in. This is the first week. I do these every week. I keep them sorted by the week so that every week I go over the new ones. I don't want to miss anybody. If anybody wants to get in on the raffle, I don't want to miss anybody. That's why we always read them off. All those names are in there right now for the awesome custom one-off Randy pieces. So pretty neat stuff. I didn't know, it was something totally different. The response has been awesome. But there again, Randy, who's one of us, who hangs out with us every week, was literally trained by the masters themselves, Von Dutch and Ed Big Daddy Roth. He worked with both of them. Pretty impressive. So cool that Randy's part of us and hanging out with us and was willing to do these for the show. And it's going to be some super cool custom one-off work that somebody's going to win. So can't thank Randy enough. And the love and support you guys have shown him for this stuff is cool. I think everybody kind of freaked out last week when they saw him. But that was the point. We kind of hyped it up. It was kind of a, I didn't want anybody to know about it. Randy and I have been talking about it for a couple months. The work's amazing. It's super exciting. I'm glad you guys are excited about it as well. So it's going to be cool to see who wins these on when are we going to give these away. We talked about this because it's kind of weird. I guess we'll do it on the 5th is realistically when we should do it. And then February is a short month. So we may do, I need to look at the calendar. We may do these on the 5th and then do February and March together. And maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do like a big February, March raffle and maybe do like 4 or 5 things and just kind of go a little longer, but throw a couple more things in because we won't really have time to give everybody a good, good time to do it. We might consider that. I'll look at the calendar and see how that lays out. We'll plan on giving these away February 5th though. So yeah, that's right. It is beautiful work. Randy does an amazing job. I can't draw a straight line with a ruler. So to make this stuff flow and the colors, and I don't know if you guys can see, I think you guys can see it there again. We've got the red on these letters with the top half of the letters in the darker red for effect. I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. It would look like gibberish if I did it, but it's the effect. And then of course the little dots and the pinstripe and all this cool custom work. You've got the purplish pink here, the purplish pink here, then the orange that comes off that on both sides and follows the same angle. These little dark red corner pieces at the end of every stripe. Like I said, it's just cool. I can't make the colors work like that. Shayla's got a good eye for color. I got nothing for color. So John said he almost got divorced trying to pinstripe. So cat gibberish. That's what it would look like if I tried to do it. The license plate piece with the blue and the black and then the reddish orange in here. And like I said, trying to make, and the thing about pinstriping is it's never exact because you got things over here on both sides, but it's so close that you can't tell it. If you sat there with a micrometer, you're going to find it slightly off because it's hand done work, but it still follows the lines flow so well with the same thing on each side to balance these things. That's what makes it awesome. So super cool, amazing. That's right. Johnny is a true artist, and that's the best way to put it. So excited about it. And I'm glad you guys are as well. What else is going on? New inventory. I did pick up a couple of cars this week, as well as a big load of sheet metal. My friend that I bought all those parts from about a year ago, still trying to get stuff out of his place. He went back up there Friday. I got a whole load of sheet metal, kind of some cool stuff. 59 DeSoto front fenders, a rust-free pair of 59 DeSoto front fenders, some 58 Chevy station wagon parts, some 66 Dodge Dart parts. I don't remember what all he got. I had almost a whole trailer full of sheet metal. But some 64 Galaxy front fender, some pretty good stuff. So, but picked up all that. Plus, a guy I met from Wichita had a small salvage yard. He's losing his lease on his land, so he's been bringing me a few cars up. He brought me the 69 Riviera a few weeks ago. He brought me a 53 Pontiac two-door hardtop. And I picked up one interesting one this week that haven't had one in a long time. 1969 Dodge Charger. You don't stumble onto those every day. This car's bad. Don't get anybody get too excited because it's bad. But it's still a 69 Charger. And finding anything for a 69 Charger is tough. So I went ahead and snagged it as well. So videos coming up on all that as well. Plus, what is coming up on videos, I shot a bunch of video yesterday. Shayla helped me shoot a bunch of videos yesterday. And a bunch of new inventories. I think I did 7 new inventory videos yesterday. Plus what I've still got in the can. As of right now, I know I told you guys I had a lot of stuff done. I've still got 18 videos in the can, and we're well into January. I've still got 18 videos in the can that we haven't shown you guys yet. 69 Riviera, it's a parts car. It's got a little rust in it. It does have motor and tranny in it. It was a bucket and console car. The seats and console are gone. The tilt column is still there for a floor shifter. It could be fixed, but it would take a lot of work. It's not so far gone it couldn't be fixed, but it would take an awful lot to do it. But like I said, tons of videos. Shot a video yesterday. The T-Top 84 Monte Carlo, got that shot. The 53 Pontiac is shot. 48 International KB3, 51 Ford Cab. That's in the KB3 video. The 69 Charger video. 84 Silverado C10, 38 GMC, 49 Chevy pickup, 64 Corvair. I think that's most of what we got shot yesterday. Still geeking out of the old Green International truck you picked up at the auction. Still sitting here, John. That could be yours. That's a good truck. It's got a little rust. It's got those hood hinge areas rust out real bad on those Internationals. And that's about the only rust in that truck is the hood hinge area. And that area is gone on the left side of the hood hinge. Big hole there. Rockers are good. Floor's good. That's a good truck. That's a really good truck. So we've got a lot of that coming. Plus, Pioneer Village. Lots of Pioneer Village videos. Stuff from my other buddy's salvage yard I haven't showed you yet. Still got some Auburn Court Duesenberg stuff to share with you. Plus all the new inventory. Michael, the 71 El Camino. That video is up. That video has been up for a while, so it is already up. I think I shared that to Facebook again the other day. Need to make some big bucks and buy a couple early 60s Mopar wagons. Yeah, any wagons are good, that's for sure. But with that, kind of gotten to the end of my sheet. So I guess that means we're getting close to the done. Sorry I had to open the milk. What's the new inventory? 53 Pontiac two-door hardtop, a big load of sheet metal, and a 69 Dodge Charger. That's what came in this week. And one gray cat. Mine's got a 64 El Camino. Okay, that's cool. What are you doing, Gray Kitty? You want to tell everybody bye? We're about ready to wrap up. So, all right, tell everybody bye. Yes, tell everybody bye-bye. Say bye-bye. It's rough. 69 Charger is rough. But don't get too excited about it. It's rough. All right, tell everybody bye. Okay, so you want me to give everybody your email, Pete? Is that you want me to go ahead and tell everybody what your email is? Is that what you want me to do? Let me check this real quick. Everyone says, thanks for a great Sunday and the Christmas episodes. Okay, so Pete. Okay. If everybody's ready, Bad Boy Chevrolets. Bad as 2 Ds. Bad with 2 Ds, Boy Chevrolets at gmail.com is Pete's email for a directory. So that would be awesome, Pete. So anyway, let me let's do this real quick. Just to kind of help everybody out. If everybody wants to email their info to Pete for the group registry. Okay. If Pete says he's a Nigerian prince and he had 40 million for you, it's a scam. All right. Can everybody read that? And Pete said he'll kind of work up a directory for some contact info for any of us. So John loved the magazine. That's right. So like I said, hopefully get those parts for the 39 Cadillac and get the motor and tranny bolted together and get it dropped in the frame rails this week. And got some more cars to pick up this week. Always plenty of stuff going on. Can't read it, says Nora. That's probably because of my handwriting. Bad Boy Chevrolets is what that is. BADD Boy Chevrolets. Then at gmail.com. So BADDBOY Chevrolets at gmail.com. So we'll keep that up there for a little bit more so you guys can jot it down as we get ready to wrap this thing up tonight. Once again, thanks to all of you guys for your participation. Thanks for participation in the auctions. It's a lot of fun. We're having a great time. Number one's got to jump off. I hope you win tonight. I hope you can get a new truck, number one. Glad everybody had a lot of fun. The auctions were great tonight. We had a lot of fun with that. I keep working, trying to come up with cool stuff, and which makes it more fun because everybody likes it. Glad Michael got one tonight. John, one day soon, now that I'm retired and have a car hauler, I need to make a trip and drag the International home with a Rambler wagon. Sounds good, John. Just give me a shout, and we can sure work on something on getting some of that nailed down. Alex is coming out to get a couple. Alex did stop by last week. I forgot to talk about that earlier. Alex did come up and check some things out this week. Got a couple picked out for him and picked up his auction winning. So it's great to meet Alex. So, yeah, John, if you want some more info on some of those, be sure to let me know. And if you want to get something going on them to lock them in, let me know so we can get, you can get me a deposit on it. We can get something locked in and keep things boogieing and before anybody else would get anything. So. Mark says, load the Falcon up and bring it to him in Ohio. So it is fun. I'm glad Alex made it out. It was cool to meet him, and he had a good time out here. Weather wasn't the best, but he's obviously coming back now that he found a few. So David W says that'd be a great truck he had. Great truck he had one too. So yeah, John, give me a shout. We'll see if we can work out. Friday or Saturday, Sunday this. Saturday or Sunday. Friday's up in the air right now, Pete. But Saturday or Sunday should work. So Kenny's jumping off. Johnson's got one more in him. That International would not be bad to do. Like I said, in those hood hinge areas, that's all pretty much hidden. That's inner fender well stuff. But the exterior, the stuff that counts, that truck looks pretty good. So anyway, guess that about does it. So check in with Pete, see what your schedule looks like, and we'll see if we can get worked out next weekend. With that, we're going to get ready to wind this one down. We'll see some of you Tuesday night. We'll do Toy Tuesday live again. As always, 7 o'clock Central Time. We'll do some cool memorabilia on Toy Tuesday. John says, wife said it's okay, so he's gold. Perfect. Sounds good. Sounds like a plan. And we'll get some more of these videos up. I don't know what it's going to be. There's so much of it. Like I said, the Pioneer Village, the Auburn Court Duesenberg, my buddy's other salvage yard, the new inventory. 18 videos in the can ready to go. So we're going to get some of that stuff fed out to you. And plus do Toy Tuesday live. We'll definitely be ready back next Sunday night. We'll have the auction boxes restocked. And we'll be ready to go. Parts are as common as a Coke can for those IHs. The mechanical stuff, they use the mechanical stuff in those things for years. It was all the same. And the body on that truck is so good that, that's other than the grill is going to be the only thing that's going to be tough to find for that truck is that grill. That grill's pretty banged up. Spell out the whole email on Pete. You bet. BADDBOYCHEVROLETS. Bad Boy Chevrolets at gmail.com. So hopefully that helps. That Sharpie kind of blurs things a little bit. I thought I'd use the Sharpie and it would work better, but it didn't. All right, maybe that'll help. Maybe you can read that a little bit better. Perfect. Okay, Norma said she got that. So John says he'll work that grill out with a rubber mallet. So yeah, and with enough time. I mean, a lot of this, I think it's aluminum. Some time, enough time. A lot of that stuff can be fixed. So anyway, that about does it. I hope everybody's got the email address. They can get hold of Pete. We're gonna wind this thing up. Gray Kitty will hopefully get out of my way for a little bit, and we'll see some of you Tuesday night for some Toy Tuesday. We'll get some more cool content out this week. I hope everybody has a great week, and we will definitely plan on seeing all of you and hopefully some of your friends back here next Sunday night, 7 o'clock Central Time, Sunday night live chat. Mike said he emailed Pete. Perfect. Hopefully some of you guys can. Glad you guys stopped by. Glad you guys make this chat what it is. It's you guys. It's the camaraderie. It's the brotherhood. It's the knowledge that we all share is what makes this a chat. This isn't about me sitting here in front of a webcam, talking. It's about all of you making this what it is. Thanks to you, it works. Thanks for your participation in the auction. Thanks for your participation in hanging out with us and making this chat what it is. Thanks for sharing your knowledge and talent with all of us on here and making this a great place to hang out for gearheads. So anyway, Mark says he hopes he can remember Tuesday. He always screws up and misses it. 7 o'clock Central Time, and I think you're Eastern Time, Mark, so it would be 8 o'clock for you. So 8 o'clock Tuesday night. You have to set your timer for it. But that being said, I'm going to wrap this thing up. You guys all have a great night. Have a great week. We'll see some of you Tuesday. And if not, we will definitely see you here back next week, 7 o'clock Central Time, Sunday evening, for more Sunday Night Live chat. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you soon.